We've got some common opponents that we've beaten and a few that we feel that we should have beaten. We're right there with Liberty and Ray Peck, of course. So, I think it's going to be a battle.
Well, definitely, it's going to be incumbent upon the Broncos to be able to stop our running game.
Absolutely. And again, we're going to rely on Jaden Hines, from that Wildcat position. And then, of course, Jackson Surratt and David Mayo and our line. And that's where we're going to have to win it. Right?
Woo! You got to love Titan football. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Lee Summit West High School presents Titan Football.
Time to go to work! Move it, move it, move it! Get off the ground! Come on, Titans, hit somebody! Woo! You gotta love Titan football.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome out to Lee Summit West High School here in Lee Summit, Missouri. Joel Becker along with Mark Files as the Lee Summit West Titans getting set to take on the Lee Summit North Broncos in the regular season finale. Could call it the Battle of Lee Summit, but we don't like to call it that.
No, we don't. This is just one other game on the schedule, and it gets you ready for the new season next week called the playoffs.
Well, and this Titan team is going to have their hands full with the Broncos. They've had a very strong season. They just like us lost to Liberty North. That was the one blemish on their record. It was a relatively close game, but at the same time, the Broncos have been steadily improving. We've seen that, for the last several years, and they came to play this year.
They have come to play because their season got cut short because of COVID.
Right.
They didn't get to play in the playoffs last year, and so those kids are carrying that chip on their shoulder this season. And I tell you what, they are loaded. They got a lot of talent. They got a lot of D1 prospects. There's a lot of young men that are going to have a great opportunity to play football at the next level. And tonight will be a great test for the Titans, both their offense and defense.
And of course they also have to right the ship after a tough loss last week up at Liberty North.
I tell you what, that Liberty North team, they have some talent. And as long as Coach Jones doesn't get in the way, those kids are going to be in good shape. So,
that should be that should be difficult for us for tonight. Obviously, overcoming. You mentioned the D1 guys that they've got. So I think 2 or 3 of them are on their offensive line.
Yes, they are, and those young men know how to make a hole or two for those running backs. And I tell you what, they've got Mosey, but the kid I love watching run the football is Quincy Baker for North. The kid he runs hard, and he reminds me of Cobbins that played for West back in 2007. The young man that had his season cut short with a bad knee injury at the Jamboree game before his senior season, but runs very similar to that. So any of our alum out there listening tonight, you'll remember CJ and watch Baker. He reminds me a lot of CJ.
I noticed, by the way, Baker, you mentioned Trey Baker is their quarterback.
Right.
There's a lot of on this team same names.
Yeah.
There's a lot of familial relationships among the players.
Yes.
Some that are currently playing, and even some that you'll remember from years past as well.
Yeah, there's some brothers, cousins, a lot of relatives back and forth. And, of course, excuse me, it's very similar to Lee Summit West.
Sure.
Because, we've got little brothers, we got cousins, we got sisters and went through and played in the volleyball and softball. So it's a loaded opportunity here, and it is senior night. So there was a few tears, but now we're ready to play some football.
I mentioned that to the coach when we had our coaches' conversation. started it off with the fact that it was senior night, and that's, of course, something that's near and dear to any coaching staff for the season that they finish up with on their last home game. They always want to honor their season. It's always a big deal. So let's hear what the coach had to say in our coach's conversation tonight before the Lee Summit West Titans take on the Lee Summit North Broncos right here on Titan Football. It's the coach's conversation. Joel Becker talking with Lee Summit West head coach Vinny Careswell. It is senior night as we've wrapped things up here for the 2021 regular season and Lee Summit North in town. What are you looking at today?
Well, first of all, I want to thank our seniors for just being a 4-year Titan crew that has done a tremendous job, and they're going to get a big game tonight. And you can't ask anything more than a big high school football game on a Friday night. Beautiful out here. It's going to be an exciting game.
It absolutely will. And this Lee Summit North team, they've made some great progress over the last few years. What really stuck out to me when I was doing like the depth charts and stuff like that is how many younger players they use, freshmen and sophomores on this team.
They have quite a few young kids. We beat them up pretty good last year. I think it was 24-7. And they've kind of been up and down through the years, but they've definitely got some dudes that are playing well right now with their 7-1 record. We've got some common opponents that we've beaten and a few that we feel that we should have beaten. We're right there with Liberty and Ray Peck, of course. So, I think it's going to be a battle.
Well, definitely, it's going to be incumbent upon the Broncos to be able to stop our running game.
Absolutely, and again, we're going to rely on Jaden Hines, from that Wildcat position, and then, of course, Jackson Surratt and David Mayo and our line, and that's where we're going to have to win it right there is running and then taking our shots in the passing game. And then from obviously the way you win a game like this is your defense comes up big. Right. And our defense has been solid all year. We got Liberty North's a good team and they've got some weapons and they beat us up a little bit last week, but we've regrouped. We're ready to go. Again, it's senior night. They're at home. I think there's going to be a lot of emotions tonight for our defense flying around hitting. And for the record, Liberty North also beat the Broncos, so got that in common. We do, and we've talked about that. So what are kind of the keys? What do you look at when you say this is what this is the guy that has to have the big game, or this is the area that we've got to excel? Sure. Well, you mentioned the defense. Our defensive line, they've got two D1 recruits there on the O line and a very good center. Our D line has to play well, and then our linebackers need to run to the ball. On the offensive side. We talked about Jackson, Surratt, and David Mayo. They've got to have big games, as well as Jaden and our other quarterbacks who come in have to perform. Weather couldn't possibly be nicer for a game like this. This is a beautiful night, perfect night. We're very excited. And any injuries? I mean, obviously Brock's gone for pretty much the year. Anything else to be concerned about? No, I think we're okay. All right, should be fun. Good luck, and we'll see you in the playoffs. Thanks, Joel. All right, that's Coach Vinny Careswell, and I'm Joel Becker. This is Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files. Lee Summit West taking on the Lee Summit North Broncos, and they were just about set to go for the first quarter of play. The Broncos won the toss. Interestingly, they chose to receive. Usually most teams defer these days, but they want the ball first.
They want the ball first because they want to set the tempo and the pace with their offense, and they're going to be, I'm going to call it ball control, but they're going to go no huddle. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to take their shots downfield, just like Coach Carswell mentioned for the Titans. But they want to score, and they want to score often. So they're going to come with their strength, which is their offense, and they want to be in that lead position.
Tucker Selby waiting to receive the ball from one of the officials to start the game. He'll tee it up at the 40-yard line right in the middle. I don't know how much of this may have anything to do with it, but I think the Broncos would like to, come out and get a lead in the game, if for no other reason than to tamp down some of the emotion from the Titans. I don't know if you saw when they came out. This is an excited football team.
They're wound up.
So we will see how things go. Kicking, the wind seems to have died down for the most part. Line drive kick, and it will be taken and fumbled at about the 2.5-yard line. Picked up, coming up the middle, hit and tackled shy of the 20-yard line. And very good coverage on the play for the Titans as Howes went with the return, and it'll be a poor field position for Trey Baker and company as they get started from their own. And there's also a hold that's being called on this return as well, so that's going to cost them half the distance to the goal line in addition. So they're going to start inside their own 10. That
is a tough way to start your evening, but for the hometown Titans fans, nothing wrong with that.
So, it's interesting because he ran over to try and catch a line drive kick. If he had not done that, it would have gone into the end zone.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing. He tried to pick up that ball, and it got him in trouble, that's for sure.
So it'll be just inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line. As we mentioned, Trey Baker, the quarterback, and then Quincy Baker is usually one of the running backs out there, although at the moment it's Howes that is in the pistol behind Trey Baker. Man in motion. And on the first down play, Howes trying to go off right tackle. He was stopped, lost the football. The Titans pick it up. Let's wait for I think they're going to call him down.
They did.
And they did. I tell you what, Sweeney was very excited about his fumble recovery, but it wasn't a fumble as it turned out. Pickup of about 3, second down and 7. Officials had no hesitation, so they must have seen something.
Yeah, I think his knee was down, so.
We'll see how it goes here. As you can see, if you're joining us on 810varsity.com, it is a silver on white team here for the Broncos as they give again, this time trying to go between the tackles up the middle near the 20, and it's going to be a first down on the pickup from Howes, Tanner Howes. A 5'7", 165-pound sophomore.
Wow.
That's been doing the running so far. I told you they've got a lot of young players on this team. Freshmen and sophomores playing, which is good news for the Broncos. You can end up 7-1 after 8 games with a bunch of younger players. That bodes well not only for this year but years past. Baker back to throw, looking left side. He's got a man. It's caught and breaking a tackle coming up the far sideline to the 40-50. Cuts inside to the 45. He breaks another tackle, and he's swarmed under by blue jerseys and knocked back. They'll give him the Titan 45. A pretty good first pass of the game for Lee Summit North, and they are in business on this early run. That was Moore on the catch. Isaiah Moore, number 13, who not only made a good catch but quite a bit of yak to go along with it.
That's right.
Both yards after catch and yards after contact, either way you want to put it.
And you know what? He was running hard.
So we will see how things go here. 1st and 10 inside Titan territory. Baker gives again Howes. He was hit by Ely as he got to the line, falls forward to about the 42. It'll set up a 2nd down and 7 from there. The Broncos moving down the field pretty quickly here in this opening drive. We are 2 minutes in, and it'll be 2nd and 7 for Lee Summit North.
What's the quickest way to take the crowd out of the game?
Get a lead.
Get a lead and a quick score.
So we shall see. Pistol formation again, in motion and a give. And this time running off of right tackle. And this is the aforementioned other Baker, Quincy Baker, who is short to the ground, but he's got a lot of bulk to him.
Yes, he does.
5'7", 182 is what he's listed as. And it'll set up he's a junior, by the way. It'll set up a 3rd down, about 5. Ball's at the 40-yard line. They need the 35 of the Titans. Again from the pistol. Baker behind Baker, and back to throw is Trey Baker. He's getting a rush, throws. He's got a man. Did he make the catch? As he was falling down, they say yes, as Gerald Griffin, falling down, manages to hang on to it. Good enough for a 1st down at the Titan 33. I was trying to look just to see. We noticed before the game that Brian Haney was not dressed out.
In street clothes.
Yeah, and I do not see him on the field. So, I mean, that was during warm-up.
Right.
So it was possible.
He's down on the sideline right here in front of 81. So
I was going to say, it was possible that he just hadn't gotten dressed for some reason during warm-up, but that is not the case, and that is huge as Ely takes down the running back. Once again, it's Howes, but not before he gains about 8 yards or so, and it will set up a 2nd and short. But, to play this Broncos and to play them without your best, cover corner, and also your best return man, potentially a threat on offense.
Yeah,
that's tough.
But also it is next man up. I know it's the 9th game of the season, but everybody needs to be ready to play.
They do it that. All right, back to throw, and making a nice throw and catch. Oh, dropped the football, but it goes right out of bounds. It was well enough after the catch to still be a completed catch. Blaney on the reception. And let's see where they mark him down. It'll be it's going to be good enough for a 1st down. He got the 21, needed about the 22 or 23 or so. So it'll be 1st and 10, still a little outside the red zone for the Broncos. This is the opening drive of the game, as we are now down to 7:50 left to go in this first quarter, still scoreless. Baker on the carry up the middle, and he tried to go between the guards, was hit and tackled. Jones on the initial contact, and he gains about 2-3 yards or so. We'll see. They put the ball down to the 19, so pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8. Inside the red zone now for the Broncos. We'll see if the Titans can maybe stiffen up here. Bend but not break, right?
That's exactly what we want. Hold them to 3.
Trey Baker. Back to throw. Perfect so far. He'll throw over the middle, and it is knocked away by Dooley. A nice play. Really had an opportunity for an interception there, possibly. But Jordan Dooley causing the first incomplete pass of the game and sets up a 3rd and long.
And he had every opportunity to catch that thing, but he did the right thing. He made sure that he broke the play up.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, if he had caught it, he might have been running a long way. I mean, he was on about his own 10, but there would have been a pretty nice size hole for him to go through.
Yeah, this Lee Summit North team is full of tracksters, man. It would have been fun to watch that race.
Let's see if the Titans try and send pressure. They do. And Baker rolls to the left side, being chased. He's going to run, and he'll get a 1st down the sideline. They call him out of bounds. He runs into the end zone, but he stepped out just inside the 10 at the 9. 1st and goal for the Broncos. And I tell you what, he had Wyatt Ramsey chasing him. Wyatt's not exactly a slowpoke, and he made Wyatt look like he was running in water.
Well, and basically Wyatt took a bad angle at him.
True enough.
Okay, and again,
But I think it was because he was surprised at the speed.
Yes, and that was the one thing. We've seen North play on TV, and Baker, Trey Baker, is a lot faster than what he looks on TV. I guarantee you that.
He is. Well, he showed right there. He definitely is. It's a give, and trying to go off of right tackle, trying to get the outside, but not much into about the 7-yard line, let's say. It will set up a second down as House on the carry. He and Baker pretty much been trading carries so far in this first drive. We haven't seen Mosey yet, at least not as a running back.
Right.
He's been out there on the field.
This House he showed up at camp and just was ready to go. And they did everything in their power, not to discourage him. They just kept throwing things at him, and the kid just proved that he was mature enough and ready for Friday nights, and they couldn't keep him out of the lineup.
Here he is again, trying to go up the middle, hit by Ramsey, but not before he gets inside the 5 down to the 4. It'll be 3rd down and goal from there. I have no idea whether the Broncos would be feeling like it's 4-down situation in this. Obviously they're in field goal range. I don't need to know what kind of leg they have to know that.
Right.
But at the same time, you get a drive like this, you want to come away with 7 points.
Well, their kicker's a darn good kicker, and he was making them from 30, 35, 40 yards out. This is a chip shot, but, yeah, they want 7 on the road.
On 3rd down, it is a give, and it's not going to be
no question.
No worries about that as Quincy Baker all the way in off a left tackle. Just crossed the goal line, and it's 6-0. Extra point to come. Just a little bit more than 5.5 minutes left to go here, first quarter.
Impressive drive by the Broncos.
It really was. They just stormed down the field. The extra point is up, and it is good off the leg of Seth Simpson. And with 5:33 left to go in the first quarter of play, the Broncos strike first. They lead at 7-0. We'll take a break and see what the Titan offense has to offer when we come back. Right here on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Hometown ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files here on Titan Football on 810varsity.com and lswradio.com. 7-0 our score. Broncos on top as they march down the field, starting that drive inside their 10-yard line. But a couple of 3rd down conversions aside from that, they pretty much were just...
they dominated.
Yeah. And the kick from the 40-yard line right in the middle, and that will go into the end zone for a touchback as Hines tried to stand on the goal line and catch it, but couldn't quite. He just had just a little bit enough leg to get that into the end zone there off the leg of Seth Simpson. A 5'10", 153-pound senior kicker, as you mentioned, has got plenty of leg.
Well, and that is a big help to the defense because it takes the return game away from the Titans.
Of course, without Brian Haney, that takes a lot of the return game away too. Although
it does, but Haynes runs very, very well for the Titans.
I was going to say they've had other people step up in past weeks. As they start off from the Wildcat, they give Surratt right up the middle, breaks a big hole. He gets across the 40 up to the 45-yard line. Jackson Surratt, first carry from scrimmage, and he's going to go from the 20 up to the 46, a 26-yard gain on the first play of scrimmage. And I'm going to predict right now that if the Titans can keep up that average yards per play, they will do well tonight.
Yes, very much so. Not to throw shade at the defensive players for the Broncos, but right now the speed appears to be all on the offensive side of the ball. They've got some. We got a penalty. Oh, yep. Man.
This one's coming back. You can see him walking. Let's see. It was not a line of scrimmage penalty. It happened out, after he got beyond
legal procedure.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, at the line of scrimmage.
No, that must have been an illegal formation. Yeah, that is still
formation.
Yeah. Well, just because, like you said, false start or whatever, they all fall under that same category. But based on what they did, I would say they didn't like the formation or something about it. Again, from the Wildcat, not quite so much this time. Their average yard per play did improve because it wasn't -5 yards on the penalty. But, boy, he maybe got a half a yard or so as Surratt went up the middle. But what a huge momentum changer that is. Goes from 26 yards positive to 5 yards negative, and now you've got a 2nd and 14 with the ball on the 16-yard line. Harden back to throw on 2nd down with time, throws over the middle, almost a terrific catch by Hines. It was not the best throw, but he still almost came up with it anyway. Had he been able to, he probably would have been able to get some pretty good yardage. It was double coverage, but he had a step on both of them. And it'll set up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, that pass was just a hair low and was leading him. So
needed a little stick 'em.
Yes. Well, that's what they wear gloves for now these days, right?
Yeah, I know. He needed a magnet in the glove.
There you go.
They go Wildcat here. Hines with Surratt to his right. On 3rd and a ton. He looks like he wants to throw, roll into the right side, and he does throw.
Intercepted,
and
dropped it.
Incomplete. Almost intercepted, as you mentioned. He threw it to a white jersey as it was intended. Trying to see if I could pick up. It's Randolph who it was intended for. Dan and Randolph, but like you said, he really threw it to the guy in the white jersey, which is why Hines is not our starting quarterback.
But he's our Wildcat guy.
And he has, he's had a lot more effectiveness up until now in general. Sweeney standing just in front of his goal line. He'll step into one. Nice kick. Some pretty good depth. It will take a Titan bounce inside the 40, inside the 30, and come to rest at the 27-yard line. Heck of a kick for Sweeney. He has certainly been one of the bright points of the season as far as, both as a linebacker, but also especially as a punter.
Well, he's been able to flip the field, and the kicks that he makes are away from the returners, and so there's no return on them, so it's a net punt. I mean, it's huge.
But they don't go out of bounds. So it's easy to keep it away from a returner if you don't mind kicking it, 30 yards out of bounds.
Right.
But he ends up kicking it. Sometimes it only goes those 30 yards, but they're always, bouncing, and more often than not, they tend to take Titan bounces. Unfortunately for Lee Summit West, after a great initial play that was nullified by a penalty, they only end up with the ball for about 90 seconds. It's the end around on the jet sweep. Oh, great play for Chase Hammond coming in to blow that up as Isaiah Moore took the carry, and he'll get about a 2-yard loss. Well, let's call it a 1-yard loss, 2nd and 11. But Hammond read that well and just blew through the contain. And he didn't actually get the tackle himself, but he set it up so that they would not be able to get any more.
And it looked like Mr. Sweeney was the one following behind the play that was able to clean it up and get the tackle. So nice job and good pursuit by the Titans. I love it that they're staying in their lanes and coming from the behind the play. That way they are watching for that reverse.
2nd and 11. We'll see if the Titans defense can stiffen up here. Howes on the carry. He is able to break a tackle as he got through the middle. Big carry across into Titan territory. Hit and tackle down at the 45 of the Titans. Unfortunately for Lee Summit West, no laundry on the field for Lee Summit North. And they're going to get to keep this run all the way to the Titan 45.
That was another fine run.
Tanner Howes has just really been. He was going between. Was off right guard, I guess, but he kind of made a couple of side steps, put the little Madden, moves on.
Yeah, but he was working to get to the numbers so he could get to open field.
Howes goes out wide out to the left side, empty backfield, and Baker throws on the run, and it is caught. Breaking a tackle, but stepping out of bounds was the tight end, Grayson Bell. And that is going to be good for about a 5-yard gain up to the 40. It'll be 2nd and 5 from there as Trey Baker, putting on his Mahomes impression over there, rolling and making the throw on the run as the pressure kind of got to him.
I love the pursuit of the D-line. 696, Terrell Woods coming down and helping support on that play, but I'd much rather see him sacking that quarterback.
2nd and 5. Quincy Baker in this time. He'll get the call, running off a right tackle. He was hit, thrown out of bounds by Ely. Swan really, though, made the play as he got the good penetration and forced him outside, and then Ben was able to just force him out of bounds. Really no gain. Maybe a yard to the 39, so let's call it 3rd down and 4.
I'll tell you what, Quincy Baker's a great running back, but Howes just makes him look like a different speed.
It's because he is running at a different speed. 2.5 minutes to go in the quarter. It'll be Baker this time trying the left side, and Hammond chases him down and hits him from behind, knocks him down at the 38, gain of a yard, but it'll set up a 4th down and 3. I imagine this part of the field they'll just have to go for it here. I mean, that's a good kicker, as you mentioned, but 55 yards might be a little bit outside.
Yeah, with this offense as potent as it is and the way Titans are struggling on offense, heck yeah, you go for it when it's 4th and 3, 4th and 4.
They're bringing Howes in, though, to be the running back. He's still in the pistol formation, Baker. And he's got a wide out to the left and a man in motion that direction as well. They were trying to get the Titans to jump. Yeah. They didn't bite, and so the Broncos will call a timeout. First timeout of the half for either team. Stops the clock with 1:51 left to go in the first quarter. Broncos on top in this one, 7-0. And I don't know. I mean, if as little as the Titans did on offense in the first drive, I might be tempted if I was the Broncos to just punt it and try and trap them way back deep.
And have them make their own mistake and stop them and then try to get the field position.
Yeah, that's what because the one thing you don't want to do in this scenario, again, you're up by 7, is give the Titans any hope, and so if the Titans stop them, first of all, that's a huge momentum builder. They weren't able to get, it was a 3rd and 4 and they barely got a yard. So they know that the Titans defense might be able to stop them. If it were me, I would probably bring the punter out.
And look what they brought.
Although there's always the possibility of a fake if they do if they were to bring that out.
And I think Trey Baker's the punter, so.
They give it to Howes up the middle. Boy, he was hit and tackled, but I think he got enough. He needed the 35 and looked like he got the ball across it, and based on where they're putting it down, he's got a 1st down. So he needed 3 yards, got maybe 3.5, but it'll be 1st and 10. Probably by maybe a hair more than a football.
Hard running by Howes, man.
Yeah.
That's all that was. He doesn't spin. He just runs into you.
Well, and like we were talking about before, it's not like he's a huge back or anything like that, and he's a youngster, but yet they gave it to him for the 3 yards, and he got him. On 1st down, back to throw Baker. He's got time this time. Boy, there's some holding going on. There's a big flag. This one's coming back as Baker runs out at about the 28, but this one is going to come back. Holding on the Broncos. That was on one of their big guys on the offensive line, who isn't listed as one of their starters, by the way. He's Dalen Davis, 6'3", 263-pound offensive lineman, and he gets called for holding. It'll set up a 1st down and, 22 from the Titan 47-yard line. Yes, last week, by the way, while the Titans were up at Liberty North, I was in Lawrence doing the Lawrence High Olathe North game. I was actually in Olathe doing that game at ODAC. And they have a defensive lineman who is 350 pounds, Olathe North does. Baker, he's going to sidestep and run up the middle. Great open field tackle by Sweeney. Otherwise, Baker was going off to the races. The shoestring tackle gets him down at the 46. It's a gain of a yard, but it'll be 2nd and 21. But anyway, this kid for Olathe North, like just 6'3", 350 pounds, and he is not a pylon out there. He runs, I mean, there were times where he was running down a running back or a quarterback.
And he was going sideline to sideline like a middle linebacker.
That's what I mean.
Huge.
Yeah, just enormous. You saw him on Spectrum.
On Spectrum. It was fun to watch him.
Oh, he's huge. That guy's got a future, we'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Here's a give Baker, Quincy, and a nice open field tackle again. Grauberger with the hit below the knees. It's still a good gain up to the 41, but still will be a long third down. Third down and about 16 from there. They need the 25. The ball is just inside the 41. It's probably the last play of the first quarter as the clock ticks down, and that's going to do it. So we'll see what they do on third down when we come back. Only one score in that first quarter. I guess the Titans can be happy about that. 7-0, they trail it to the Lee Summit North Broncos. We'll take a break, come back. It'll be 3rd and 16 from the Titan 41 for Lee Summit North when we do, right here on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Need a new grill? Academy Sports and Outdoors is the destination for all your outdoor cooking needs. With our huge range of pre-assembled grills and smokers, plus seasonings and fuels, just buy online at academy.com and pick up in-store quickly with our free in-store assembly. So you can keep those grilling plans with the ones you love. Shop now at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
We are back at Titan Stadium here at Lee Summit West. Joel Becker, Mark Files, as the Titans trailing the Broncos 7-0, getting started with the second quarter of play, but this is a big play, 3rd down and 16. We'll see whether or not they decide what they decide to do here as they get trips now out on the right side. No, quads, actually, 4 receivers, empty backfield. Trey Baker with time back to throw. He'll throw. He's got a man wide open. It is caught inside the 20 down into the red zone on a nice little catch from Winston. And it's, you drop all those guys back in coverage, how somebody gets to be that wide open, I don't know.
That's that lovely zone where you're playing field, not playing a man, and you get lost and you don't know what you're guarding or who you're looking at, and you assume somebody else is covering the guy, and guess what? Nobody's got him.
Trey Baker is really impressing me right now in this game in terms of his speed, and he's been pretty accurate throwing the football as well.
He's got an offer to play quarterback at, I believe, Abilene Christian.
Give Howes in between the guards, and he gets inside the 15 down to about the 12. It'll be a good pickup on the play, maybe 7 yards, and set up a second down about 3 from there. The Broncos in the red zone for the second time. They scored the first time around, just underway here in the second quarter. We played a minute. And Lee Summit North trying to take us 2-score lead. Baker in, Quincy as the running back again in the pistol. They have wideouts to either side. Tight end on the right. They go that direction, and a good job that time for the Titans. Chase Hammond along with one of the other linebackers, Dooley, and they double team him. No real gain on the play. It'll be maybe a loss. Let's call it a loss of a yard to the 12, and it'll be 3rd down and 4 from there. Howes comes in as the running back. They send Twins out to the left side. Looks like they're double tight, and they give it to Howes, and he runs up the middle. He was tripped up as he got to the 10, but fell forward. I believe good enough for a first down. We'll have to wait and see, though. They haven't made the indication. They have stopped play, it looks like, to at least take a look. And it is a first down, 1st and goal for the Broncos at about the 8-yard line. Well, again, to trust a sophomore like that on a play like that.
Well,
and 3rd down and 4, and you just say, go get it, kid.
Well, and the Titans players think they'd gotten a fumble again. So I mean, there's an opportunity to steal that ball if you can catch him.
Here's Baker rolling right side. He throws right side. There's a flag down. It was complete to Howes. Boy, he's fighting to get to the end zone. Has no idea this play's coming back anyway.
Okay, that's a sophomore for you right there.
Yeah.
He doesn't know any better, and he's not saving energy for the next play. He's going to score on every time he gets the ball. And that's what happens as you get older and you mature in this game. Those shots take a little bit more out of you, and you start playing protective.
I don't know if there's a huge difference between sophomore and junior and senior.
There is.
In terms of the taking a toll on you part, I mean.
Oh, it does.
It starts taking a toll on you a lot more when you're at about 35.
Yeah, but it does slow you down, trust me. It does.
I don't know. I play against too many of those kids in hockey. They never run out of energy. So after the penalty, the holding call, 1st down and goal from the 21, and they give it to Baker, who gets up across the 20 to about the 16. Let's call it the 17, gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd and goal from there. The holding call is a real killer when it happens on a and goal situation.
Oh, yeah.
Even on 1st down, this may be enough for the Titans to maybe hold them to a field goal attempt. But there's still at least 2 more plays to go. Quincy Baker in the backfield, back to throw. Trey Baker throwing near side, incomplete. He and the receiver were not on the same page. Bowers on the coverage, but it didn't really make any difference as the receiver, he was running something other than a hitch route, and that was definitely what Baker was looking for.
Is that 13 out there?
I believe so, yeah.
I think that's Mosey, who that is, isn't it?
No, it's Isaiah Moore.
Moore? Okay.
Mosey's number 1.
Okay.
But, or I'm sorry, Isaiah Mosey is correct. I'm sorry. There's more than one Mosey.
Yes.
So it will be 3rd down and goal from the 18 or 17. Baker rolling to the right. He tosses over for House, makes the catch, and Ely knocks him out of bounds for a loss back to the 20. It's actually somewhat significant because it makes it about a 37-yard attempt here. If they do decide to go for it, they may just go for it. Looks to me, nope, they're going to send in the field goal unit. So they do have enough confidence, it would seem, in Seth Simpson to at least let him try a 37-yard field goal and make it a 2-score game from the right hash mark. Left-footed kicker, snap back, ball down. The kick is up high, plenty of leg, and right through the middle. It is good. 8:28 to go, first half. And the Broncos, I guess a slight moral victory, you could say, for the Titans to keep them out of the end zone. But they still trail at 10-0. We'll take a break, come back for the kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Fall is upon us, and so is the time to tune up that furnace. Don't miss the $49 special from Neil Harris Heating Service Experts. That's right, get your system tuned up for just $49, and you don't even have to be a Service Experts Advantage program member. Call 816-629-5343. That's 816-629-5343, or schedule online at any time at neilharrisserviceexperts.com. That's neilharrisserviceexperts.com, and get ready for winter today.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files as the Lee Summit West Titans trailing the Broncos from Lee Summit North. 10-0 our score on the latest, a 37-yard field goal from Seth Simpson. Kickoff will go into the end zone, so it doesn't matter which direction he's kicking it. He's got end zone length.
37 yards, sir. You had that called correctly.
Yeah. And I tell you what, that would have been good from at least another 5 to 10 yards.
Yeah,
easy. So Obviously, the Titans want to get their offense on track. They've only had the ball for about 90 seconds or so. And we've got 8.5 minutes to go in the half. Getting the ball for the second time.
In the game, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the best play they've had from scrimmage got called back on a penalty, although that's also what kept the Broncos out of the end zone. Now up the middle, Surratt, and again, on the first play from scrimmage on the drive, he has a good gain of just shy of 10 yards. It's going to be maybe a half a yard short, 9.5 yards, so second down and 1. This one not coming back.
Much better start to this drive.
So second down and short.
And I'd take 9 yards of carry.
Sure.
Per play.
They've got the Wildcat formation out there. Hines to take the snap with backs on either side. He gives it to Surratt. He'll get the first down. Not a whole lot more. It gets out to the 32. Pickup of, let's say, 3. If you gave him 9 the first time, then that was 3. If you gave him 10 the first time, then that was 2. It'll be first and 10. You know, it's a situation like that, though. I mean, if you're the Titans, would you have been tempted on 2nd and a half a yard to just play action and take a shot?
No, I
not with Hines in there, but I'm saying if
no, I would have gone with I got the first down and just keep the momentum and use that big line and make some things happen.
Hines on the zone read. Kept it himself, faked it to Surratt, gains a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 up to the 33-yard line. He was taken back pretty heavily when he did finally run out of real estate.
I don't know. We've watched this team all 9 games. I really think their strength is running between the tackles.
It always
Line
has
up
been.
And go. It always has been this year, and maybe throw in a jet sweep every once in a while, but that RPO going wide has been a drive killer.
Got twins on either side. Hines to take the snap, and he'll run right side following a lead block. Boy, he was swatted as he got to the line of scrimmage. Might have fallen forward for a half a yard, but coming up, Caden Williams from a linebacker position just sort of went down that second level line, and boy, did he put a lick on Jaden Hines.
That was a fine textbook tackle.
Hard and in for the 3rd and long play. 3rd down and 9, empty backfield with trips on the left and twins on the right. Now Hines goes in motion, and they try and toss it to him for a screen, but he has nowhere to go. There is a flag down, though, in an area where you normally will see a face mask called. I say that only because there was nobody there to block, so it couldn't have been a hold. And, yep, it is a face mask call.
Of the 5-yard variety?
It is, but I believe it'll keep the down at 3rd down. So they'll give the Titans another shot at it. It'll still actually go down as a loss on the play. The ball's at the 32. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 instead of 3rd down and 9. I think the guy running the stick over there wasn't sure if he was supposed to flip the marker over or not. Titans come out quickly to the line. Under center, Harden throws back. And to throw the ball, Mayo down the far sideline. It's intercepted. A great tackle by Ford over there to keep that in. And it'll basically work as a punt, because it was a 3rd down and 10 play, and he threw it 30 down. Pretty good throw, I guess, from Mayo from at least a distance standpoint. He unfortunately overthrew his receiver, Ford, and the safety behind him just picked it off. So, like I said, I think Sweeney probably could have done better than that with the punt, but it'll still be like a 30-yard punt or like a 40-yard punt with a 10-yard return or something. So I can think of worse things that could have happened.
Exactly.
5.5 minutes to go here in this first half. Titans down 10-0. Broncos on their own 37. Trey Baker looks behind him at Howes in the pistol. Says something to him. Man in motion, Mosey. And it's going to be Baker stepping up. He'll throw to Howes. What a great throw.
Wow.
And down the near sideline, Howes inside the 30, 25, cuts inside to the 20, caught from behind. Boy, I tell you what, how about this? Woods, an inside defensive lineman, comes up from behind to catch Howes and tackle him. I mean, it's still a great play for Howes as he goes from the 37 all the way to the Titan 21, the 15.
48 yards, and your interior lineman's tackling him downfield.
He made a great, but I tell you what, like I said, what was most impressive about what was Baker. He wanted to make that throw earlier, but it wasn't there. So he waited, stepped up, waited for Howes to get open, and then led him perfectly on the toss in front of him. Give is to Baker. He stops and starts, and he's taken down by Fosno. Good tackle. And it'll set up a second and long, as Jax really did a good job coming off the block and just wouldn't let him go forward.
And we need more of that,
Yeah.
To slow down this running attack.
But like I said, he could not possibly have hit him any better in stride in that last play.
But but Howes' catch, the maturity of that catch, out away from his body in stride.
Yeah, never slowed down. So 2nd and 11, back to throw Baker. He's got time, throws on the near side. Boy, did he get his? Yeah, they say he did catch it down at the 2-yard line. Mosey, I believe.
83.
No, excuse me, you're right. It was Blaney. There's a 13 and an 83.
Yeah.
Those of you watching with us on 810 Varsity, they did not consult a broadcaster when they came up with this silver numbers on white jerseys. I imagine you're probably having just as hard a time to see it as I am at home. It'll be 1st and goal from the 2. But a great catch by Blaney. When he first threw that, I was wondering who he's even throwing it to.
Our intern Ben's trying to get it in where you can see the numbers.
Howes on the carry. Oh, he got to the 1, and he was met by a trio of Titans. There is a flag. No, there's not. I thought I saw a flag, but it was actually a kid on the sideline throwing up a football. I did see something fly into my peripheral vision, but it wasn't yellow. It was brown. As it turned out, he did gain a yard. 2nd and goal from the 1. Already up 10-0. The Broncos looking to extend it even further. Pistol formation, double tight. Wideouts on either side. It will be Howes and into the end zone, touchdown. That was awfully easy. Left side, he just went over left tackle. And with just under 3 minutes to go in the half, 17-0. Well, they still have an extra point to make. 16-0 with the extra point to come. Extra point attempt. Snap back, ball down, kick up, high long, and it is good. So like I said, just under 3 minutes, 2:55 showing on the clock here in the first half. It's been all Broncos so far. They lead it 17-0 here on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 real estate team in Kansas and Missouri, the Rob Ellerman team at Reese Nichols. With over 90 agents and 5 offices across the metro, they'll match you up with the perfect agent to get you moving with confidence. They cover the entire metro area, from Lee Summit to the Northland to Johnson County. They also have offices in Des Moines and Springfield, Missouri, and Destin, Florida, if you know of someone looking to move. The Rob Ellerman team truly is your real estate resource. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. The Rob Ellerman team, a proud supporter of Kansas City Metro High School athletics.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium here at Lee Summit West High School. Joel Becker along with Mark Files. The Lee Summit North Broncos all over the Titans. 17-0 our score with just a little less than 3 minutes to go in this first half of play. A 1-yard run by Howes, the latest score. Seth Simpson, and the ball blows off the tee right as he approaches. So they'll let him tee it back up. Are they going to make somebody hold it, or are they going to let him? They're going to let him try it one more time.
I think he just had it standing too tall, and it just fell over on its own. Uncooperative football, dadgummit.
I was just going to say.
If you got kicked, you wouldn't want to stand there that long either.
And his kick will go into the end zone about 3/4 of the way through. And the Titans will see what they try and do here on offense. They do have all 3 of their timeouts and 2:55 left to go. Anything special coming up at halftime?
We're going to look at some scores, look at what stats we have. We're going to talk a little bit about districts and where we may be next week.
I know where I'm going to be next week.
Next Friday night?
No, next weekend. I'll be in Davenport, Iowa.
Well, Friday night.
We'll
it's
see.
the week. It's not the weekend. Friday
That's
night.
true.
You got hockey in Davenport, right?
Yep.
Opening of the season?
Opening weekend for the Midwest League. The Kansas City Jets taking on the Quad City Blues. And it's going to be Hines, pulled the ball back and trying to get around the right side, but he'll get hit in the backfield. Knocked back for a loss. Got to wonder whether or not Jaden is was that the Broncos calling timeout? They only had 2, but they called 1. It looks like they want to get the ball back.
Yes, they do.
Boy. You know, one of the things that I noticed when I was doing the preparation for this game, I tell people all the time when when I talk about the Titans over in Lawrence where I work and do my daily show or whatever, and sometimes the people over there that do Rock Chalk Sports Talk or some of the interns will ask about the Titans or whatever, and I'll talk about back in the day when we were Class 4 and then Class 5, and the fact that we always had just an enormous roster. There'd be like 125 kids, even though we were a Class 4 team.
Right.
And this Broncos team this year, their roster is huge.
It is. And they invite some of the freshmen to come, all right? And so Coach Mosey's real big about getting the young ones into the roster and get into the varsity atmosphere, especially at the end of the freshman season. So that's where the extra kids come from.
And on the quarterback draw, Hines up the middle. At least he had a bit of a hole this time. And he gets up across the 25 to about the 27. It'll be third and a much more makeable 3.
Again, that's what I'm talking about. We've got to get the Titans to run between the tackles. They're not going to get those sideline runs because of the speed that they do have on this Broncos defense. They're going to stretch that field and not give you anything up outside the numbers.
Again, Wildcat split backs on either side of Hines. He'll take the snap, and he will give it to Surratt, again trying to go outside, and he was knocked back for a loss back to the 21. Again, when he handed them the ball, he had 2 white jerseys right next to him, and all that Jackson could do was go backwards. The Broncos call another timeout, their last, but they clearly know they're getting the ball back, and they figured they'll give themselves as much time. That was exactly what I figured was going to happen. They were either going to stop them, in which case they'd call timeout, or they'd get the first down, and then it'd be up to the Titans to decide if they wanted to call timeout or not.
Well, and that specific play right there is a perfect example of what's been going on all season for the Titans. You got inexperienced quarterbacks that are learning on the job, okay? And so that's an RPO, all right? Yeah, you may say, give it to Surratt, let him run it, but that's not Surratt's run, going from sideline to sideline. He's a guy that really is successful between the tackles, and that's where they're going to do some work here in the offseason and get the kids coached up, and they're going to understand and then be able to read that play and get more comfortable with their confidence, and they make the right calls heading into next season.
I think they should fake the punt. Sweeney standing at his own 5. It's 4th and 9, by the way, if you're wondering. High snap, he fumbles it, he rolls, he is going to fake it, but not by design. And they're going to give him his forward progress to about the 2-3 yard line, but the Broncos will get the ball. That was not a design fake, but it was too high a snap, and he never had an opportunity to get the punt away. You know, you think I was joking about the fake, but actually that wouldn't have been the worst time in the world to actually do it, because you're already down, and so so what if they score here before the end of the half? Yeah, it's worse, but you're already down 17-0. But now I don't mean the play they did, but I mean if they had done like maybe snap it to an up back or let Sweeney throw it or run it himself. If he makes it, fine. If he doesn't, fine.
But then you're not giving them the ball at the 3-yard line.
Yeah. Right. Assuming it was a good snap, in the worst case scenario, they would have gotten it maybe the 30. Baker trying the left side. Did he get the end zone? No. They will knock him down at the half-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal, and that will allow the clock to drop down a little bit more. Interestingly, if I were the Titans, I might have thought about calling a timeout here so that they'd have more time when they do get the ball back. Because it's not like, the Broncos are going to have plenty of time to score here.
Yeah.
And now they can't stop the clock when you have the ball either. They're going to give it to Howes up the middle. Boy, he ran into his own blocker, and he will not make it.
Wow.
It was interesting. As he was trying to sort of spin his way he actually ran back-to-back into his own blocker there. And it is going to set up a 3rd down. It's still 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line, though. And all this is doing is eating up any clock that the Titans may have had. But, the thing is when they were in that situation, it's not like they're trying to throw the ball downfield anyway. So they'll give it to Baker. He was hit. And he gets to the goal line but didn't break it. It'll be 4th down from the half-yard line, maybe the 1-foot line. 25 seconds left to go. They got plenty of time to run the play. It's 4th down. They snap it a little early, give it to Baker, and he gets into the end zone. So all that. And they still score the touchdown and run them in 30 seconds off the clock. They score with 16 seconds left, 16.8. And it is 23-0 with an extra point to come.
Not the way you want to be building your confidence heading into the playoffs next week, right?
The good news is the team we're probably going to play, Nixa, is probably a lot worse than their record would indicate. But we'll talk about that at halftime.
Yes, we will.
Snap back, ball down, kick up, high, long, good. 16.8 seconds left to go here in this first half of play. The Broncos 24-0 over the Titans. Let's take a break, come back with the kickoff after this on Titan Football, presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
It is 16.8 seconds before halftime. Ball teed up on the 40-yard line, just a hair to the right of the middle.
Let's keep the wind down off of it.
Simpson to approach, and he will kick it high and short as it comes down about the 4-yard line. Allows Hines to run it, and he's able to break through the initial penetration, get out to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, then there's a flag at the end. Yeah, I believe this is going to be some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct or late hit on the Broncos, and that is in fact the call, a late hit or unnecessary roughness. You had to wonder whether or not we would get that. Anytime you've got an intra-district situation like this, there is always the possibility that, and especially when one team is beating the other pretty soundly, sometimes it goes the other way around, that the team that's losing is the one that, but so good for the Titans to at least be disciplined enough. That gives them the ball at the 41-yard line. Unfortunately, they only have 10 seconds to do anything with it. Interestingly, the Titans decided to call timeout. I would say the reason why we see this timeout, and it is, well, according to the scoreboard, it's the first timeout that they've taken.
It is. They've got 2 left.
I think the reason why they took it is because I think they had sort of resigned themselves to, we'll run the ball and see what happens. But now with the penalty pushing the ball out to the 41, they may think, well, you know what, let's maybe take a shot, let Harden air one out and see what happens.
Yeah, and if you are able to get, 35 yards, you got a shot at a field goal?
Yeah, and even if you get a penalty or something, I mean, 10.8 seconds, should be able to get at least 2 plays off.
I'm trying to figure out how many players we got on the field here. We've got an extra player.
Hines comes off, then he comes back on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we need him.
Yeah.
He's part of the triplets over there.
Stacked up on the left side. Back to throw Harden. He's getting a rush. Rolls to his right. He needs to get rid of it. Throws it over the middle and incomplete.
Got time for one more.
I told you we'd have enough. 4.2 seconds. Now there's a flag down, though.
Intentional grounding. There wasn't a receiver near the ball.
No, there was. There actually was a receiver relatively close. In the vicinity. Yeah, they're calling it roughing the passer. That's what I thought. He took a lick after he threw that ball, and not only was it on the passer, it was either very close to the sideline or already out of bounds. So 2 straight 15-yard penalties for the Broncos, both on their kicking team and now on their defense. And the Titans actually with the furthest penetration they've had at the Bronco 46. So with 4 seconds left, they might actually be able to get it to the end zone. Back to throw. He'll let it go down the middle, near sideline, but well overthrown. He's looking for Hines, I guess. Wow. He was the closest guy, and that's going to end the first half of play. Well, we got our shot. You could at least say that.
We did. We did.
One half of football gone. It's a half that I would say the Titans would probably just as soon forget.
Me too.
24-0 our score. Apparently we've got an extended 20-minute halftime. I don't know what's going on because they did the senior night ceremony beforehand.
It is dance team gets to perform, and then you've got the marching band doing their full 5 to 8 minute segment of their show.
So we'll at least be able to give you the band at some point during this halftime.
We'll give you a limited version of the band because of YouTube and their licensing. So we'll have to watch how much we give you.
You know what we need to do? We need to talk to the band people about writing their own songs.
Yeah.
Because then we don't have to worry about,
right.
We wouldn't have to worry about the copyright issue. So there you go. 24-0 our score. We are at halftime. We'll take a break and come back after this on Titan Football. A presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 real estate team in Kansas and Missouri, the Rob Ellerman team at Reese Nichols. With over 90 agents and 5 offices across the metro, they'll match you up with the perfect agent to get you moving with confidence. They cover the entire metro area, from Lee Summit to the Northland to Johnson County. They also have offices in Des Moines and Springfield, Missouri, and Destin, Florida, if you know of someone looking to move. The Rob Ellerman team truly is your real estate resource. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. The Rob Ellerman team, a proud supporter of Kansas City Metro High School athletics.
Need a new grill? Academy Sports and Outdoors is the destination for all your outdoor cooking needs. With our huge range of pre-assembled grills and smokers, plus seasonings and fuels, just buy online at academy.com and pick up in-store quickly with our free in-store assembly. So you can keep those grilling plans with the ones you love. Shop now at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Fall is upon us, and so is the time to tune up that furnace. Don't miss the $49 special from Neil Harris Heating Service Experts. That's right, get your system tuned up for just $49, and you don't even have to be a Service Experts Advantage program member. Call 816-629-5343. That's 816-629-5343, or schedule online at any time at neilharrisserviceexperts.com. That's neilharrisserviceexperts.com, and get ready for winter today.
810 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri, and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage. 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out here to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files at halftime. Lee Summit West, Lee Summit North. Broncos all over the Titans 24-0. We'll go down to the field, though. The Titan marching band for their final home performance, most likely, of this year. Here at this game, we're hoping for something fun today here at Titan Stadium. So we're waiting for them to get started. That's going to happen any second now, and we'll take you to the field for all of the music.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
A10 Varsity takes you through the football season like never before. Watch games live throughout Kansas and Missouri and even postseason action at 810varsity.com. Plus live tournament brackets, top 25, Elite 81 All-Metro team, live scoreboard, stories, and more. Check out Kansas City's new home for high school sports coverage, 810varsity.com.
Quite a performance, the Lee Summit West Titan Marching Band. Did you notice the players tried to take the field, but the marching band refused to yield?
I saw that.
Do you recall what was revealed?
No.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. We're at halftime here from Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files, 24-0. Broncos on top of the Titans. We'll have some stats for you and stuff like that for those of you who are still with us.
We love you.
Yeah.
Folks on the north side of town,
If
we
you
love
are,
you. Keep watching.
Hey, give us a call and tell us why. We'll be back with more here from halftime on Titan Football. A presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 real estate team in Kansas and Missouri, the Rob Ellerman team at Reese Nichols. With over 90 agents and 5 offices across the metro, they'll match you up with the perfect agent to get you moving with confidence. They cover the entire metro area, from Lee Summit to the Northland to Johnson County. They also have offices in Des Moines and Springfield, Missouri, and Destin, Florida, if you know of someone looking to move. The Rob Ellerman team truly is your real estate resource. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. The Rob Ellerman team, a proud supporter of Kansas City Metro High School athletics.
Fall is upon us, and so is the time to tune up that furnace. Don't miss the $49 special from Neil Harris Heating Service Experts. That's right, get your system tuned up for just $49, and you don't even have to be a Service Experts Advantage program member. Call 816-629-5343. That's 816-629-5343, or schedule online at any time at NeilHarrisServiceExperts.com. That's NeilHarrisServiceExperts.com, and get ready for winter today.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Need a new grill? Academy Sports and Outdoors is the destination for all your outdoor cooking needs. With our huge range of pre-assembled grills and smokers, plus seasonings and fuels, just buy online at academy.com and pick up in-store quickly with our free in-store assembly. So you can keep those grilling plans with the ones you love. Shop now at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker, Mark Files. We are at halftime with the Titans trailing the Broncos 24-0. You want to give us some numbers, I guess?
Yeah. Let's talk about the visitors first. Lee Summit North, 227 yards on 38 plays. They average 6 yards per play. Let's talk about Trey Baker. 8 of 10 for 131. Tanner Howes, 13 carries for 67 yards, and he's got 2 catches for 45 yards. He is the leader in the clubhouse for the Broncos. As for the Titans, well, I've seen better.
Do you remember the first play from scrimmage?
Yeah.
That Jackson Surratt ran 26 yards.
Yeah.
I remember because I said that if we averaged 26 yards a play, we'd probably do okay.
Yeah.
What was our total number of offensive yards for that half?
Well, we had more plays than we had total yards.
Yeah.
We had 14 offensive plays, 11 yards in offense.
11. Like I said, the first play was, of course, it got called back for a penalty.
Yep.
And so they didn't actually get credit for those 26 yards. But that's the thing, is that we gained more in the first play from scrimmage than we did for the rest of the half combined over, almost 3 times. Over double.
Oh, yeah, and 16 yards rushing on 8 attempts, and we have -5 yards through the air on 1 of 6 completions.
I have to say that I am coming rather precipitously close to getting a phone call from Chris Kleiman.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, are you familiar with the story? He's, of course, the head coach at K-State.
Yes, he was asking for help from the media
He
to
said,
be positive about his kids.
Yes, only positive stories, no negative stories.
Well, okay, so we'll be positive about this situation.
I was going to say.
I know, we're going to be positive about this situation.
Actually, you know, the funny thing is I did talk about this on my show in Lawrence earlier this week when I was making fun of Chris Kleiman. Well, you know, you work at a station in Lawrence, and somebody from K-State says something stupid.
Like that, yeah.
You have to make fun. It's the law in Lawrence that if K-State does that. I mean, they don't like Missouri either, but which I have to kind of, you know, pretend while I'm over there. It's not that I don't ever say anything bad about Mizzou, because, of course, I grew up a Mizzou fan from St. Louis.
Right.
But I just don't advertise it over there. But at any rate, when I was talking about it, I brought up the fact that, you know, as a high school broadcaster, we make a concerted effort not to call individual kids out by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it's, you know, these are, you know, teenagers.
That's right.
And even at the college level, some of them are teenagers, and even the ones that aren't are 20 or 21-year-olds generally. Now, I disagree with Kleiman. He said these are 18 to 22-year-olds, and they can't handle it. I think they can handle it. Especially Division I college athletes. You know as well as I know that with very, very few exceptions, Division I college athletes are not suffering from a lack of confidence.
Yeah, and I guarantee you they're not listening to sports talk radio, and I guarantee you they're probably not seeing too many things printed about them because they don't have time to be looking at the newspapers. So, all right, so let's take it back. We're going to be positive about the high school kids out here, okay? They worked their tails off during the week. Right now, it ain't going well for the Titans, okay? No. And there's no secrets on what you got to do to start the second half. You get the ball, and you know where to go but up. And it's just going to take effort. And all season, this team has lacked just experience at a couple key positions, and quarterback's one of them. We made it very clear. The coaches know it. The kids know it. And so they just got to get better, and you got basically 24 minutes of football here to end up the season to try to make it a positive.
Yeah.
Last week, I was a little nervous. I thought we were going to see a turbo clock in the second half against Liberty North, but the Pride and the Titans stepped up and didn't allow it to happen. I guarantee you that's I don't know if it was a conversation, but I know they don't want to see a 35 spot on the board with a turbo clock here at home.
Well, you and I, we talked about this off the air, but we'll talk about it now on the air. The idea, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen tonight. There's two other games, Carthage and Nixa and Joplin playing Hillcrest, that are of specific, difference to for the Titans. But based on what we do know going in, there's a very strong likelihood that we're going to end up at Nixa next week. Just because of especially with the Broncos winning relatively big right now, there's a very strong chance they will jump ahead of Nixa as far as their points are concerned. Once that happens, because of the fact that Joplin already beat Nixa this year and the way the Misha rules work or seeding system works, they will then be ahead of Nixa. Nixa's the best they'll be able to do is third, and right now, barring a miracle comeback, the best that the Titans are going to be able to do is sixth in the seedings, and so therefore it will it'll end up. I mean, they're going to end up behind Kickapoo, and so they will end up. Kickapoo will get to go to Ray-Pec, and we'll actually get to go to Nixa. The funny thing about that is that actually could be the best case scenario for the Titans, because the truth of the matter is we'd have had if we won this game, we'd have had our hands full against Ray-Pec. We already lost to them this year. They're a good team. And yet Nixa, of all the teams there are, we've talked about this in the past, that, there are always teams from outside of the area, and sometimes their records are misleading compared to how good they are. And Nixa would seem to be one of these teams this year. They are 7-1. However, they have played, of those 8 games, 6 of the 8 games are against teams that have losing records, so 500 or worse. And the only teams they have played that are any good at all was Joplin, to whom they lost, and also Webb City, And Webb City's 5-3 this year.
And what did I say about Webb City?
5-3 Webb City is more dangerous than an 8-0 Webb City.
Exactly.
But that what I was standing, they did beat them. But Webb City's also a Class 5, a Class 4 team that just went up to Class 5 this year or last year.
Yeah, well,
whatever
Webb City. That Webb City is a Kansas City version of that is Bishop Miege.
Sure. So that so like I said, that makes Nix's 7-1 record not look nearly as good. I haven't seen any kind of a score yet from their game against Carthage. Carthage is an 8-0 Class 5 team, so they're going to have their hands full today. And we'll see how it goes. The Titans get the ball to start this second half as the Broncos did win the toss, and they chose to receive.
You missed that trip last year. The coach and I went down. Ethan Gray was our camera intern. And I'll tell you what, going to Nix is a great place to watch football. It's a beautiful stadium. The fans are very friendly. And if that's where we go, Titans fans, get in your car and go down and go south.
The kick goes into the end zone. You know, what happens if Jackson somehow or another manages to catch that ball? He was leaping as high as he could from the goal line.
Well, it would have carried him back into the end zone, and that would have been it.
Or worse, though, he could have knocked it down, and if he got a hand on it, knocked it down in the field of play. But anyway, all right, we'll see how the Titans do. I guess you can you can always make the statement, whatever one team can do in a half, another team can do in the other half. So you never know.
And we found the live scores here for the South, so we'll keep an eye on those.
Harden throwing on the slant, incomplete, as he was looking for Dickerson, who's a little slow in getting up. I think he jammed his finger a little bit, but he seems to be okay. That throw was behind him, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Interesting that they are coming out with Harden in as quarterback, and it would seem that they're going to see if they can't do a little throwing.
They're going to need Harden next week. Bottom line, in the playoffs, you're going to need him.
Surratt behind him in the pistol formation on 2nd down and 10. He's got twins on the left side, double tight otherwise. And they will give it to Surratt, trying to go between the tackles, or between the, away from the play.
A little extracurricular activity.
Yeah, we got two guys going down. And it looked to me more like the defensive player tackled the offensive lineman. In that scenario, normally when an offensive lineman tackles a defensive guy, you get a holding call, but it doesn't work the other way around. Surratt gained about 2, and it'll be 3rd down and 8. Just underway second half, 24-0 our score. Broncos on top of the Titans. Man in motion, Dickerson. And on play action, Harden rolls to his right side. He'll throw, and it is incomplete. A good defensive play, as that was intended for Ford, the tight end. And the linebacker on him might have been McGee, I couldn't tell. But he was able to reach in and get a hand in there and knock it away.
Harden does a nice job on that bootleg pass. He's just got to get a little bit quicker on the motion and getting that ball out of his hand so the receiver's got an opportunity to make a play.
49 seconds by, and the Titans are 3 and out on their initial possession here of the second half. Sweeney standing at his own 6 on 4th and 8. At least it's a good snap this time, and he steps into it, gets a pretty good kick high, and it was fielded at about the 43. Coming up the near sideline, hit and knocked out of bounds was one of their receivers,
Blaney.
And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Broncos, just into Titan territory at the Lee Summit West 48.
Got a scoring update for you at halftime. Carthage is up 35-14 over Nixa.
Wow. That makes it even more likely that our first round opponent will be Nixa, because if Nixa loses, most likely Joplin and Lee Summit West or North are going to win as it looks right now.
Yeah, Joplin's got 49 zip over Neosho.
Yeah, we knew they were going to just walk in that game.
Looking for a Kickapoo score here next.
Maybe it's Kickapoo that plays Hillcrest, actually, I think. On 1st and 10, and it is going to be Mosey on the direct snap. A nice
play. What a play.
Jumping up was McGrew, and he was able to catch him in the backfield for a loss of a yard as they went to the direct snap to Mosey. Isaiah Mosey, I guess I should mention, because they do have another one, Elijah,
Yep.
who was getting playing time. I haven't seen him in this game. At least no touches.
Might be a little dinged up. You just never know. Saving him from next week.
Could be. I'm pretty sure I saw him on the field earlier, but I haven't seen them target him or been anywhere. Although you never know, as things go in the second half, we could see more of the other players as Howe's up the middle. And he'll gain across the 45 to about the 44. And it'll be a pickup of, let's call it 5, and set up a 3rd down and 6.
At the end of the half.
Is there a penalty? I think there's a penalty on this play.
Yeah, what did we get?
Let's see.
That's a holding penalty of some kind, or a personal foul, one.
Personal foul against the Titans. I think it was a post after the play foul.
Well, actually, it's on the Broncos.
Or sorry, on the Broncos. I said Titans, yeah. Because we've seen a little bit of like we said, extracurricular activity at the end of the first half and now at the beginning of the second half. It's all been on Lee Summit North. Jeff Holloway, our referee, making the call. And it'll set up a 3rd down. Yeah, 3rd down. Like I said, it was post play.
Post play, so it's 3rd and
3rd
21.
and 21, yeah. Ball's on the Bronco 41. They need the Titan 38.
Dude, we made the headlines in the South. Regional game of interest, West versus North.
Throwing down the far sideline, incomplete Baker. He was looking for Blaney and overthrew everybody. Good coverage, though, on that far sideline. And it'll be 4th down, and looks like we may see the Bronco punting team for the first time in the game. They didn't punt at all in the first half.
There's a little pride showing up for the Titan defense. Like to see that now if we can just see the offense get a little
too soon.
forward. Oh, they're going to stay on the field, huh?
Oh, this could be a pooch punt, though.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, the punter
is Baker.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that's what they're going to do here.
Nope, they didn't. Oh, my goodness.
And Howes is going to get the first down and more inside the 20, down to the 10, down to the 5, and forced out of bounds. And he was hit out of bounds as well. So we're going to see, I think it was Rylan Williams, or do we have another number 2? No, it was Williams.
Was it Williams? Yeah, Williams knocked him out, yeah.
But I think he's going to get called for a late hit out of bounds. Not that would matter because it was inside the 5 anyway. So they'll give him half the distance to the goal. You remember just before, and that is the call. The late hit out of bounds on Williams on Howes. And I tell you what, you remember what I was talking about just before the half, and I was saying, maybe the Titans could do a fake punt.
Yeah, there it was.
Right? It wasn't exactly a fake punt, but it was, there was definitely a little trickery.
Yep.
How much do you think the Broncos want to, go home tonight?
Oh.
It looks to me like they, when you do a play like that on 4th down and 21, that says that you want to get a 35-point lead as Baker as Baker waltzes into the end zone untouched from a yard and a half out. And with 9:30 left to go in this 3rd quarter of play, we're just underway. 2.5 minutes into the quarter, and it is 30-0, the extra point to come.
Yeah,
Again, that's an indication that, and I don't know how, if any of it could possibly have to do with Lee Summit North's attitude regarding, winning the district or anything like that, or it could just mean they want to get out of here. Have there been any games that you recall the Titans, really pouring it on with the Broncos? I don't. That I can think of. So. I don't know.
You know what?
Think about it when we take a break, and we'll talk about it when we come back. 31-0. Broncos on top. Kickoff coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Pros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, check this out. 810varsity.com now brings live video game casts for more than 25 KC Metro schools all season long. Now you can watch and listen to the games live on your computer, iPad, or phone. Park Hill South, Miege, Aquinas, the Olathe and Blue Valley schools, and the list goes on and on. Plus, live scores, playoff brackets, rankings, and more. Get all the games live at 810varsity.com.
We are back at Titan Stadium here at Lee Summit West High School. Joel Becker, Mark Files, Lee Summit North pouring it on 31-0.
Kickapoo 28, Hillcrest 0 at half.
Yeah, not surprising. So like I said, that puts us in a situation in which the Titans are going to end up as the 6th seed. Pretty good return here for the Titans, coming up the near sideline for Hines. Gets across the 35. Of course, the Titans haven't really done much of anything on offense, so he would have needed to run it back to about the inside the 5.
Yeah.
For, on average, the Titans to be able to actually get some points in this game.
Okay, here's a positive about tonight.
Okay.
Finally feels like football weather.
Yeah.
We're not sweating in the press box tonight.
True.
Not that we're complaining about being in the press box, but...
Yeah. So we'll see what the Titans do here on offense. They were 3 and out on their first. They come out with Harden at quarterback in the pistol, and they'll give it to Surratt, trying to go up the middle. He bounces off of his own blocker, and he is then tackled for a gain of 2 up to the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Down to 9 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. What would you say, if you can, over the years, can you recall what the worst defeat for the Titans has been?
Yeah, it was Ray Peck, 2004-2005 time period.
First year?
First year, second year.
Surratt. Oh, nice little stutter step move, and he'll get... I think this is the first down for the Titans in the game.
Yeah, second. Actually, it's the second.
Second. First of the second half as he gets across into Bronco territory, a gain of about 12 or so to the 48.
And I love how Royce handled it.
Yeah.
He had the team on the field, and we got to listen to it, and Driscoll was holding the microphone, and Coach Bames said, guys, we lost this game in the weight room in the offseason.
Surratt hit right as he gets the football. Managed to get across midfield to the 49, loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11 from there.
And from that point forward.
So that would have had to have been the second year then.
Yeah, third year.
We weren't doing games in the first.
Yep. And it was a wake-up call for the kids. And they carried that chip on their shoulder, and it has been a rivalry ever since.
Yeah, Ray Peck was a rivalry from the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm sure Royce's first words is, "This is where Mark Files played."
Had no bearing whatsoever. But I tell you what, though, I've told you this story off the air. Maybe said it on the air, too.
Titans call a timeout here, by the way, if you're wondering what's going on.
My kids hated Ray Peck Week because I'd break out all the old T-shirts, the hats, hang them on their doorknobs, put them on the headboards of their bed, just to mess with them.
Yeah, for Royce's sake, there was no Boonville week.
No.
So he didn't have to worry about that.
Didn't have to worry about that.
All he had to worry about was homecoming week.
Yeah.
And how to wave from the float.
Homecoming.
So I don't know what it was that Coach Carswell saw there as they were about to run another play on 2nd and 11. He called timeout from the bench before any of that had a chance to happen.
Yeah. Hey, well, I got a break here. Let's throw a shout out to Coach Parks, who's still on his rehab assignment. Man, I understand you're getting better. We sure missed you this season, and look forward to see you terrorizing the hallways at West when you're back and healthy and ready to do it.
That will be a welcome sight. Hines will give it to Surratt, trying to get around left tackle. He did at least make the corner, but he's only able to gain a yard, which is back to the original line of scrimmage, and will set up a 3rd down and 10 from the 48 of the Broncos. Clock is running with, stopped with the out of bounds run. 7:32 to go, 3rd quarter.
And you know, I'm not going to tell you anything that you don't already know on this. The Titans coaching staff know they're one-dimensional. So do the Broncos coaching staff. It is very difficult to run the football when everybody's laying their ears back and just filling the gaps and looking to get you.
Hines on the reverse, trying to get around the right side, and he was able to gain across the 40, good enough for a first down. They give him to the 37.
We got a holding.
And this one's coming back, as you mentioned, a holding call. It was right as he got to the outside. It was not on the line of scrimmage.
No, it was a receiver out wide, and
but if he doesn't hold, I imagine they probably were able to get Hines.
Well, you know what? On that particular play, though, Hines cut up
Yeah.
and kind of got his receiver in a bad spot. He cut up, and that was the receiver thought he was going to go outside off his hip,
and so that's what I'm saying. If he hadn't held, the guy that was coming off of that block probably would have been able to get to Hines.
Yep.
So it's one of those things where you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place as a blocker on the outside when that happens. It'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so it brings it back to the Titan 45 and sets up a third. And should this be second and 17, or was it? But was that a third down? It was a third down play, I guess. So it is 3rd and 17 as they give it up the middle. And back to the original line of scrimmage was Mayo. I think this may be David's first carry of the game.
Well, he had the pass that they tossed to him, the lateral, and he threw it downfield. So,
but that wasn't a carry.
That was not a carry.
So he actually gained to the 49. It'll be 4th and 11, and Sweeney comes out. Again, if you were going to fake a punt, this would be the time to do it.
Yeah.
On 4th and 11 from the from the Bronco 49, I should say. Sweeney gets the snap and steps into it, and boy, what a horrible punt that was. Shanked it off the right side of his foot, and it goes out of bounds inside the 30. When it rains, it pours, eh?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the best way to describe it. I mean, it has not been the Titans' night.
And so, you know, like I said, part of the thing is that at some point, and I've never been a football coach, as you know. I've coached baseball and hockey over the years, and mostly hockey. And there have been times where we've gotten blown out in games, and especially in the situation where the Titans are in. At some point, you got to say, you know what? Who cares what happens in this game? The season starts next week,
right?
And so put it behind you. Let them do whatever they're going to do, and let's focus on how we win next week, because that's a lot more important than this. Baker lets one go, and what a catch. On the far sideline, Blaney. I mean, it was perfect coverage. McGrew was stride for stride from him, but he never looked back for the ball, and Blaney just went up and got it. Actually kind of reminds you of the Chiefs game last week when, I forget his name, but the one who got injured later on just climbed the ladder and took the ball.
Oh, the tight end.
I forget his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. 88 was what his name.
Yeah.
Yep, the one that tore his Achilles later in the game.
Right. Which is unfortunate for the Chiefs, but at any rate, it's 1st and 10. That was just a heck of a catch from Blaney. They'll give it to Baker, trying to get around the left side. He's able to get across the line of scrimmage down to the 37. Pickup of a couple. Really, they're only giving him one, so let's call it 2nd and 9. 5:20 and counting here in the third quarter. Broncos looking to hit that magic 35-point threshold. Wonder if you're the Broncos in that situation, if that makes you go for it on 4th down here, because if kicking a field goal doesn't do it.
Oh, I would, most definitely.
Yeah. Baker on play action, throwing on the near side. He was looking for none of the other tight ends.
Gerald Griffin.
Yeah, it's Gerald Griffin, but second time he was targeted, but the throw was off. And it'll set up a 3rd down and 9. Right now they're in 4-down territory for no other reason than you just...
We were talking about the last time that we got beat that bad.
Yeah.
Coach Parks just texted me and says the first year he was at Ray Peck because they didn't cover the outside players. Chase Kaufman and Derek Washington were the
the
stars,
the Ray
were the
Peck,
seniors. Yeah.
Later on, went on to Mizzou for Chase, and Back to throw Baker. He's going to get sacked. Yeah, maybe they'll punt after all. If there's been any bright spot on defense for the Titans, Chase Hammond again is just having a lights out year. But he's come up with quite a few negative plays.
Yeah, him and Ely are playing hard. The linebackers are all playing hard. Wood, the interior lineman, chasing plays down from behind. I mean, there have been some players that have had some moments tonight. That's for sure.
Same formation as they did last time on the 4th down and long. Let's see if they pooch it this time. They will. Baker's kick is going to go into the end zone. I guess they figured they couldn't get away with it twice in a row on 4th and a mile. 4:13 to go in the third quarter, and the Titans will take over on their own 20. No reason. Like I said, if I'm the Broncos, I have no reason to fear giving the ball back to the Titans.
Yeah.
You'll get the ball back in about a minute or two.
Yeah. Joel?
Yes.
This is painful, my friend.
It's that seat you're in.
No, it's not the seat. I just.
I don't know. Looks painful to me.
Oh, no. I'm sitting on one of the nice little stools, but it's, yeah. I feel for the kids on senior night. This is not what they wanted. Getting a great performance out of Lee Summit North, though. We'd hope more for Lee Summit West.
Hines on the quarterback draw. He is hit and tackled. Another good play coming off the very end. And I think we're starting to see some twos coming in here and there for the Broncos, because that was Hale Adrian, who is a sophomore, coming off the defensive end position. Made a good tackle in the open field. Harden, he will give to Surratt. Surratt finds some room on the outside. He's forced out of bounds. As he gets up to about the 26, forced out by Beasley, and it'll set up a 3rd down, 3rd and about 4 from the 26. Titans going with a little pace here, as Surratt will come back into the pistol. Twins on the right side. They look to the sideline for the play. They've got an H-back, that's Sims, on the left. Harden gets the play in. And from the pistol, he'll take the snap on the give to Surratt. Spins his way, and he's going to be shy of a 1st down by about a half a yard. Unless they give him a really generous spot. I think they did give him that generous spot.
Gave him to the 30.
That was a really generous spot. He wasn't anywhere close to a 1st down. He was a good half yard shy of it, but they just put the ball down across the 30, and so good enough, they said. So good for him. 1st down carry, the 3rd 1st down of the game for the Titans. From their own 30. Harden's still in, again from the pistol, and he'll give it to Surratt. He's able to sidestep and get across the line of scrimmage across the 35 to the 36. It'll be a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
That's a nice run right there by Surratt. Nice job by the interior line of making some holes and letting him get up the field.
You know, amazingly, there haven't been any turnovers in this game.
Well, we had got one interception, and that was
that's right, on the what was essentially like a punt.
Yep.
On a 3rd and long play when they just heaved it down the field and they intercepted it.
Or Mayo threw that pass.
Right. The halfback option. Harden.
Ooh.
And boy, coming off a good tackle is Surratt, and he'll get another 1st down across the 40 to about the 42. The point being, though, as far as, you know, whenever it's a 31-0 game, you wonder whether or not anything could, you know, be because of turnovers or anything like that. That the one turnover we did have didn't make any difference as far as, you know, we would have punted it away on the next play anyway, even if it hadn't been intercepted. Best offensive drive for the Titans so far, as they get a couple of 1st downs, 1st and 10 from their own 42.
This is all about pride and confidence right now.
Hines in, and he's back to throw. He'll throw it over the middle. He's got Dickerson and overthrew him by maybe about 2 yards. He had a step on the inside line. Do we have a flag down? There was a little bit of pushing and shoving after the play, it looked like, among the linemen. I don't see any flags, so it looks like it's just going to be 2nd down and 10.
Right read, nice execution as far as throwing to the right receiver, just didn't connect. Just threw it a little further than he needed to.
Yep, overthrew him by like about 2 yards roughly.
It's all about confidence and reps right now.
He looked pretty good standing in the pocket for a change. And it is a give up the middle. Going over left tackle. And that was Mayo on the carry. He'll pick up about 4, maybe 5. They gave him up to the 46-yard line, and it will set up a 3rd down and about 5 from there, 37-yard line. Mayo on the carry. He's to the left and Surratt's to the right, with Hines taking the snap from the Wildcat. They'll give it to Mayo again, trying to go right side, cuts up, and he's going to have his second effort get him a 1st down. He was stopped right at about midfield, needed the Bronco 48, but never stopped churning the legs, and he was able to get another 5 yards all the way up to about the 45 and set up a 1st and 10. Surratt comes in motion. And now they'll look over to the sideline for the play. Almost got the Broncos to step across. Surratt will go back into the pistol, and he'll get the call, trying to go right tackle. He cuts up inside and gets up to the 40-yard line. Pick up a 5, 2nd down and 5 from there. That may be the last play of the 3rd quarter. We're down to about 15 seconds to go. They have time to get it off if they want to. We'll see what they do here. 2nd down and 5, looking to the sideline. We're down to 7 seconds left. They do get the play, 2 seconds left. I don't think they're going to get the snap off.
Nope.
And that'll do it. 12 minutes of football left. It's been all Broncos, but the Titans on their first legitimate offensive drive of the game. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the Bronco 40 when we come back. 4th quarter around the corner, 31-0 our score. Lee Summit North on top here on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Need a new grill? Academy Sports and Outdoors is the destination for all your outdoor cooking needs. With our huge range of pre-assembled grills and smokers, plus seasonings and fuels, just buy online at academy.com and pick up in-store quickly with our free in-store assembly. So you can keep those grilling plans with the ones you love. Shop now at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium here at Lee Summit West High School. Joel Becker and Mark Files as the Lee Summit North Broncos have been taking it to the Titans 31-0 after 3 quarters of play. But Lee Summit West, for the first time in the game, starting to move the football a little bit, mostly on the running plays from Surratt, Mayo, and Hines. Harden gives it to Surratt up the middle. He stutter steps. Got spun down as he gets near another 1st down. It'll be about a yard shy at the 36. Again, a little bit of extracurricular activity. We've had a few of those. No unsportsmanlike conduct penalties yet. We've had about 3 unnecessary roughness calls, though. Maybe 4. I think it was 3 on the Broncos, 1 on the Titans so far in the game. 3rd and 1, and the snap, and it is Hammond, and he'll get the 1st down and more inside the 30, down near the 26. As they pull out that jumbo package and kind of catch the Broncos a little off guard, it looked like. They stay with the same formation. Again, it's Hammond trying to go right side. Got a good push. You know, this is what happens when you put 8 guys on one side of the line and just push forward, and the other team hadn't caught, they haven't caught on to it yet, basically. It's interesting because it's not like this is the only time they've ever done this. So the Broncos have had to have seen this in film. And Hammond will try going left side this time, and he is cut down. A nice defensive play that time from the Broncos. And, boy, let's see. Looks like it is Ashton Weingartner who made that play. Stepping up from a safety position. It'll still be 1st and 10, though, for the Titans.
Hammond's got a little attitude the way he runs. I love it.
He just does, yeah.
He just goes. He doesn't care. He just goes and just hits people.
Right
just
up
bounces
front.
off like a bowling ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's like playing his defensive position, but with a ball in his hand.
Yes, he's getting mad, getting even, and just going after it. And he picked up 10 on that one.
Yeah,
so.
Down to the 5. It's 1st and goal for the Titans. You know, if I'm the Titans, I may stay in this formation and run this play every play from now till the end of the game and see what happens. At least until the Broncos show they can stop it. Hammond gets another 3 yards down inside the 5 to about the 2. I mean, he's been your best defensive player. Why not let him?
Heck yeah. Well, you got look who else out there blocking for him. You got 33. You got Ramsey out there. You got Mayo out there.
Yep. And Sims as well. Hammond pushes. Did he get it? Nope.
He's close.
The ball came loose, but they marked him down. It's funny because the referee over there was almost like he didn't even know they didn't have the ball anymore. But they marked him down at the half-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and goal. He did gain yardage. The funny thing is this is where this formation is supposed to work.
Right.
And it's worked less in the last 2 plays than it has up till now, and they're going to change it up for this 3rd down play, it looks like. I don't know why. He did get positive yards, and they only need to get a yard now. But they're bringing Harden in. Play clock's down to 5. Pistol. Surratt up the middle looking for a hole, and he's not going to get it. I think they should kick a field goal.
No.
I don't think that's going to happen. So it's 4th and goal from the inside the 1, like the half-yard line roughly. I would not have gone out of that formation, but they have, and they're staying out of it. I think they would have gotten the touchdown on that last play.
I do too. Problem is your Wildcat Hammond may have been out of gas.
Yeah, that is true. He did have to run. It's Mayo to take the snap here. Man in motion is Hines. They fake it to him. Mayo and a touchdown. He bounced off the initial hit. I'm not so sure he didn't actually have a touchdown when he had the initial contact, but he did bounce off anyway, and in the second effort got across the line, and the Titans break the shutout 31-6 with the extra point to come. I was trying to remember that the Titans have been shut out, I think.
Yeah.
In their team history.
Coach Parks, help me out here, my brother.
Yeah.
It was first year. I know you weren't here, but we go back and look at the stats. I guarantee you that's when it was.
I just remember because I remember having to ask that question before. Hannah out for the extra point. Out of the hold of Abercrombie. Puts it down, and the kick is up. This is actually not Hannah, excuse me. That was Selby who kicked it right into I'm not sure that ever got off the ground when he kicked it, and so the extra point is no good. Well, that'll be the difference in the game. 31-6 is our score. 8:40 left to go, regulation time. We'll take a break, come back for the kickoff after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker along with Mark Files. Lee Summit West, Lee Summit North. The Broncos on top of the Titans, 31-6, but at least the Titans get on the scoreboard. But the like I said, easily their best offensive drive. I mean, they had 11 yards going into the second half. That drive was, I don't know how many, but it was, about 50 yards or so.
Sure.
Oh, onside kick, and the Broncos recover. So they'll get the ball at their own 46. Well, you can't say that the Titans aren't still trying to win.
No, yeah, the effort's there. The execution just didn't happen.
This is a very good Bronco team.
It is.
There's a reason they're going to be the top seed.
Yeah. Well, and so you figure, let's talk about what's coming out of Kansas City. You got the Broncos. You got Liberty North, the Eagles. Liberty's not bad.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Park Hill, depending on what night it is.
Yeah.
They could be salty. And we haven't even talked about Rockhurst. Haven't talked about Ray Peck to the south.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about the Blue Spring schools.
No, they're having a little off year.
You never hear that.
Yeah.
All right, so Baker's still in at quarterback, and he'll give it on the left side with lots of running room. And I'm trying to see who it is because it's not Howes. It's
23, looks like.
Yeah, you're right. That is who it is. But it's Krotz, Logan Krotz. So they're slowly but surely getting to 2s and 3s here for the Broncos, despite giving up a touchdown. And I think that was true on their defensive side as well. But
hey, it is bragging rights, man.
Yeah.
If you could get extra points on them, you're going to do that. Then now you're going to get the folks out.
Well, plus the Broncos have a lot to protect and play for. They're going to be the top seed. You do not want to have say Howes in there and have him twist an ankle.
Yep.
In a 31-6 game. Where at this point again, they especially with Nixa losing.
Right.
But even if they weren't going to lose, I'm pretty sure that the Broncos would have ended up ahead of them anyway.
Yeah.
But so if you got that first seed, why would you possibly,
get somebody hurt,
right?
Up. All right, Coach Parks helped me out. Last time they were shut out was Liberty North in the playoffs last year.
Yeah. Well, 12 men on the field is the call against the Broncos. So now there's a discussion, though, between the side judge, one of the linesmen, I guess.
Oh, I corrected myself.
And so they are going to pick up the flag.
I'm corrected.
Titans never were shut out
in any game.
Okay.
That's Limbo helping me out.
I was going to say. So it'll be 2nd and 2. Like I said, Baker's still in at quarterback, but we are seeing some other players in key positions like the running back Krotz. And they will throw, and it is caught. There's a flag down, however, as it was caught by Blaney. But let's check the flag. It would have certainly been good enough for a first down. But it's in holding territory, and it is going to be holding against the Broncos. Clock stopped with 7:05 left to go in regulation time. And from the spot of the foul, it'll be 2nd down, and I'm guessing about 14 or 15 or so. We'll see where they mark it off. They'll bring it back to the well, he ran up to about the 48, and then
he's lost.
Came back, and now trying to figure out where it goes.
He lost count. Put it on the 50.
Yeah, he's going to say, well, let's just split the difference and put it right at midfield. So that'll make it 2nd and 16. Don't exactly inspire people full of confidence when you do that as an official. That's one of the things they do try to teach you in ref school.
How to cipher without taking your shoes off.
Baker, he's being chased by Ely, escapes, throws downfield. He's got a man, Blaney. It's caught down the far sideline, touchdown. 50-yard pass. Trey Baker to Blaney, who's made a couple of great catches in this game. That wasn't one. I mean, it wasn't a bad catch, but that wasn't him really showing off. He just got open and
got separation from McGrath out there on defense, and McGrew and Baker found him. I mean, that's basically was a scramble drill, get to an open spot.
I was going to say Ely had gotten into the backfield to blow that play up, but Baker just sidestepped him, and once he did, he had all the time he needed to find the wide open receiver. So, snap back, ball down, kick up, high, long. It is good. And with 6:55 left to go, the Broncos with their largest lead of the night, 38-6, 32 points over the Titans. We'll take a break, come back for the kickoff. Coming up after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.
Fall is upon us, and so is the time to tune up that furnace. Don't miss the $49 special from Neil Harris Heating Service Experts. That's right, get your system tuned up for just $49, and you don't even have to be a Service Experts Advantage program member. Call 816-629-5343. That's 816-629-5343, or schedule online at any time at NeilHarrisServiceExperts.com. That's NeilHarrisServiceExperts.com, and get ready for winter today.
Welcome back out to Titans Stadium here in Lee Summit. Joel Becker and Mark Files. Titans trailing the Broncos 38-6 is our score with a little over half a quarter left to go. Both teams waiting to see who they end up playing in the first round. Obviously, the Broncos will be hosting, and the Titans will be on the road, as the kick will come down about the 6-yard line, heading up the far side, and some pretty good running here. Hines, he was tripped up and then finally taken down across the 40 to about the 42. You know, he was tripped up at like the 30 and still ran another 12 yards before they finally got him to the ground.
He's got that long stride when he gets running in the open field like that.
So to be 1st and 10 for the Titans from their own 42. 6:48 left to go in regulation time. Yeah, there was no way, even going into this game, there was literally no way for the Titans to be able to host a playoff game. They could not have caught Ray-Peck in 4th place. The best they could have done is 5th. But I don't think they're, and the moment that Kickapoo, was going to win and we're going to lose, there was no way for us to catch them either. Pistol formation, and it is Surratt spinning his way up to the 45 across to maybe the 46, as we see Caden Heil for the first time in the game handing the ball off. It'll be 2nd down about 6. 4-yard gain. Pistol formation again. Heil will give it, and again a sidestep there by Surratt. He pushes forward and gains positive yards, but only a yard maybe. Up to the 47, it'll be 3rd down and 5 from there. They finished that supersonic train yet that they wanted to put in? Can we go to Nixa that way?
No, because that train didn't get put in, and we were going to put it between Kansas City and St. Louis.
The half-hour train to St. Louis from Kansas City, that was the idea.
Yeah, but we know how to drive that 13 highway, man. We've done it enough times.
Yeah, I would say so. 3rd down, throw Heil. It's caught. And Mayo, and he breaks the tackle and gets a 1st down. Comes down the far sideline, and he was caught. I got to get handed to Mike Dolman there for the Broncos. The big nose tackle. 6'1", 360 pounds, and he wouldn't let Mayo go. I mean, I wouldn't say he could keep up with Mayo in a normal foot race, but he wouldn't let Mayo get away.
There's foot race, and then there's football fast. That was football fast right there.
Does get a 1st down, though. Nice pass from Heil on his first throw of the game. He's back to throw again, steps up in the pocket, throws, and it's incomplete. He was hit as he threw it. He was looking for Hines. wasn't anywhere near him because he was hit as he threw it, but at least it fell harmlessly to the turf.
That's right.
Under 5 minutes to go in regulation time. So Heil now 1 for 2. Second and 10, balls on the 27-yard line of the Broncos. Pistol formation, Surratt behind Heil. And he'll give it to Jackson right up between the guards. And there's a flag as he gets about 8 yards on the play, but this one I would guess is coming back. This may have been an illegal formation as opposed to a hold, but let's see.
Offsides on defense? No.
Yeah, it's an illegal formation on the Titans. I kind of thought that was what we were going to see because I didn't see any holding going on. So that'll cost him 5 yards. It'll be second down and 15 or so. Clock gets going again with under 5 minutes left to go.
I was watching the NFL game last night, and the Browns had 3 or 4 illegal formation penalties on them, where the receiver was lining up and covering up a tight end.
Heil, and we get whistles. I think the Titans called timeout before the play actually went off. They were worried they wouldn't be able to get it off, and so they used their first timeout of this half. 4:25 showing. You know, it was interesting, that game, by the way. It does not bode well for the Broncos. If they could not beat a Browns team that were missing the people they were missing.
Both starting running backs.
And their quarterback. You know, if you're the Broncos, I mean, it's interesting because the Broncos were off to such a flying start to start this.
2 guys off their offensive line.
Yeah.
And they also lost to the Raiders the week that Gruden got fired.
Yeah.
And so Drew Lock's out there, so I follow the Denver Broncos, and the media is just lighting Fangio up. They want his head. They want Shermer's head, the offensive coordinator. The guys were talking last night that they thought but Bridgewater's hurt, and they thought Drew Lock was going to come in and play, but it didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. Locke has kind of been the odd man out down there. Heil over the middle. That's incomplete. There was a little bit of contact there, as I think he was trying for Hines, but it was pretty well overthrown, so it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah. And it will set up a 3rd down and 14. Presumably the Titans in 4-down territory here. So after a good first pass, Heil's had a little bit of struggling here.
It's all about getting looks, getting reps, knowing what you're seeing and throwing into the action.
Empty backfield, trips on the right now. Hines in motion. They'll throw over the middle. It's caught. Surratt looking for a block. He got one, and he's close to a 1st down. I think he's going to be shy by about a yard, but it'll be a very makeable 4th down and 1. So where is Chase Hammond? Here he comes onto the field. You knew that was coming.
That was coming, that's right.
Hammond's had enough of a breather now. 4th down and 1. Now the question is, have the Broncos been able to make adjustments to this, and now we get whistles? I would say the Broncos called timeout. Nope, it's an illegal formation, illegal, like a false start against the Titans, and it'll turn a 4th and 1 into a 4th and 6, and they'll get rid of that formation and bring in Heil again. Although I don't know, the way they've been playing it before, they had a pretty good chance of getting 6 yards out of that formation anyway. Boy, that's a big penalty.
Yeah. Run that big formation and put Surratt back there. I wonder what that would look like, or Mayo, either one.
I've been wondering that too. 4th and 6 from the pistol. Heil back. He steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle. It's intercepted off the hands of Dickerson and picked off on the tip drill. Surratt with a pretty good tackle there in the open field. And so the Broncos pick up their second interception. That's just some bad luck.
Yep.
For the, it was right in the hands of Dickerson.
Yeah.
And he just lost it, and then it was picked off by Frazier Dante, I guess, Deaunty. Is there a band playing somewhere? Just seeing all the lights over on the far side.
Yeah, no, that's their way of celebrating.
I guess so.
New way of doing it, my friend.
320, I guess. Is that like COVID celebrations?
No, they all use those phones, man. They just do that.
I just meant if you clap, I guess people can see it a lot better.
Seeing the lights just remind me of old Dandy Don Meredith on Monday Night Football. What was he singing? Turn out the lights, the party's over.
Was he?
That's what he did.
I don't know. I only know Howard Cosell.
Yeah, Dandy Don. God rest his soul.
This is Howard Cosell. We were talking about that, me and Derek Johnson over at KLWN the other day about, different announcers and eventually John Madden, of course, was also for a while on Monday Night. Almost got to be a caricature of himself toward the end of his broadcast career. I always loved listening to him, but just so much Captain Obvious, so to speak. The run on the outside, sort of the end-around jet sweep for Brody French. And that'll be good for about 8 yards. Stays in bounds. Down to, or maybe not. Yeah, the clock's still running. 3 minutes left to go. Broncos on top. 38-6 is our score. Trying to just run out the clock. And Baker's give and a nice tackle. And again, Chase Hammond. I don't think he has any idea what the score is.
No,
I don't think it makes any difference to him. He just plays his game one way or another. As, let's see, who was that? It looks like it was...
Is it Whitman or Hill?
I don't know. You mean on the run?
On the run.
They have 2 37s.
Yeah.
One's a freshman, the other's a sophomore. I would assume it's Whitman, the sophomore, but both are listed as linebackers and not running backs, so who knows? 3rd down and 2. And up the middle and not going to make it. So the Titans get the 4th down, the interior line. Same player, whichever one it was. Like I said, I'm assuming it's London Whitman. Kind of tell, one's 5'10", the other's 6 feet. One's 170, the other's 180. It's really hard to tell the difference.
Yeah, on my program in high school, I was 6'4" and 210, and
well,
I was 5'7" and 145 pounds.
I was just gonna say you've
you've
lost some height.
We took a little liberty with the roster.
I know how that works. I was on a few baseball rosters. I did the same thing with my driver's license. Up until the last time. The North takes the time out, by the way, to try and figure out what they're going to do here on 4th and 2 with 1:15 left to go. Why wouldn't you just kick the ball away at this point? Well, you could go for it. Either way.
Coaching opportunity with your young kids.
My driver's license said I was 6'1", 185 until the last time, which is what I was when I first got my driver's license. At 16. I think that technically that was, I think, the first one I got when I wasn't a minor.
Yeah.
When I forget. In Missouri, is it 6 years or is it was it? I don't remember. You probably got one when you got to be 21. I don't remember.
Yeah. I thought it was 4 years.
I think it was
4 years.
So I got it at 16, and I would have gotten a renewal at 20.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably when.
Yeah. Now it's 6 years.
Yeah. As it is in Kansas. I think you can renew it online too. As it looks like Baker will punt it away again from sort of the pooch situation. Takes the Titan bounce. And they down it at the 46. That was interesting. Again, talking about just coaching moments.
Yeah.
The Bronco player that was watching that, which it was either Logan Krotz or Zayden Simpson. They both wear 23, and so it's hard to tell on a kicking team who it might have been. But, that was a ball that was bouncing backwards toward his own goal line, and he waited for it
to come back to him.
Yeah, as opposed to, just all you got to do is touch it.
Yep.
And, in that scenario, I mean, you're so used to letting it, see where it's going to go because it's going the other way.
Right.
And you want to get as many yards as possible. But like I said, as a coaching moment, I'm sure they'll have a little discussion with him about, when it's coming towards you and you're the kicking team, stop it before you get a chance.
Stop the ball.
1st and 10 Titans from their own 46. Heil and a give.
It's a new number for them as well.
I was just going to say 36 on the Titans, which is Quincy Torrey, the sophomore running back. Gains about 3.
Hey, while the clock's running here, we got to say thanks to our interns this year. We got Mr. Ben running the camera on the home games. We had Mr. Miles doing it on the visitor games. Now we got to find somebody to go with us.
What happens in the Nixa game? I think I have to find a Nixa kid maybe. This could be the last play as we get up to midfield, and they don't have to run another play. They could. Down under 20 seconds left to go. See if the Titans decide to run another play or not. 15 seconds.
My granddaughter will be in town next weekend. We'll have her run the camera.
There you go.
A 2-year-old, she can do it, right?
3 seconds. They do get another play off and running up the middle and able to at least help his stats out a little bit on his third carry for Quincy Torrey, and that's going to do it. The Lee Summit North Broncos have defeated the Titans 38-6, our final score. And the regular season is history, and the Titans will move on to the playoffs. And everything starts anew.
Yes, and after tonight, not a bad thing.
That's what I was going to say.
Not a bad thing.
All right, we'll take a break and wrap things up on our post-game show after this on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Rose Productions, and 810varsity.com.
No matter what your goals are, competing at the next level, participating in a local 5K, or leading your team to state, the Sports Medicine Center at Children's Mercy is here to provide comprehensive 360-degree care for student athletes. Performance training, injury prevention, rehab services, nutrition, mental wellness, surgery, and more. It's not just about the next goal or the one after that. It's about supporting a lifetime of sport and helping every student athlete play healthy.
Don't trust the biggest investment of your life to a part-time real estate agent. Trust the #1 real estate team in Kansas and Missouri, the Rob Ellerman team at Reese Nichols. With over 90 agents and 5 offices across the metro, they'll match you up with the perfect agent to get you moving with confidence. They cover the entire metro area, from Lee Summit to the Northland to Johnson County. They also have offices in Des Moines and Springfield, Missouri, and Destin, Florida, if you know of someone looking to move. The Rob Ellerman team truly is your real estate resource. Call anytime at 816-304-4434 or visit therobellermanteam.com. The Rob Ellerman team, a proud supporter of Kansas City Metro High School athletics.
Welcome back out to Titan Stadium. Joel Becker and Mark Files, Lee Summit West and Lee Summit North. The Broncos with the 38-6 win over the Titans, and it's pretty much official at this point. The Titans, I mean, technically it's not, but it is. The Titans will be traveling to Nixa next week to start the playoffs with a chance to avenge last year, I guess.
Yeah, and Nixa lost to Carthage. What did I tell you, 49-14.
14. It was not close. Carthage is a good team at 8-0, now 9-0. but they are a Class 5 team.
And of course, Nixa last year graduated a ton of seniors, so they're rebuilding. Okay, and so they've got a lot of youngins down there, and
so like I said, their record of it'll be 7-2 at this point is probably not indicative of just how good a team they are. They're not that as good as their record would indicate, but having said that, the Titans are going to have to play better than they have the last couple of weeks in order to even do, to make some damage in the playoffs at all.
And the effort's got to be there during the week, okay? And the kids have got to come hungry, and the coaches will do their job. It comes back to senior leadership right now. You don't want your legacy to be getting roughed up the last 3 games of your season. You just don't want that. And, knowing the Titan way, I'm going to say my money's on the kids who are going to give an effort. Not guaranteeing a win either way, but they're not going to lay down. It's a business trip. They were there last year. They had Nixa on the ropes last year. You were doing hockey, and like I said, it was the coach and myself down there doing it, and it's a beautiful press box. They got an elevator.
Okay.
Got an elevator.
In that case, I'll go.
You'll go. It's a nice little booth. I'll even buy you late lunch, early dinner on the way down. We'll stop at Smith's, get us a big tenderloin sandwich.
How early are we going to have to go?
Well, if my mother was with us, we'd have to leave real early because she'd want to go shopping. But since we're not shopping, we probably need to get out of here by no later than 2.
Okay. So I can still do my my radio show that day.
Most definitely, man. I got to listen to you do your radio show, and then we'll leave after your radio show.
Okay. So easy peasy.
So if we're taking volunteers that want to ride down with us. Run the camera. If you're an adult and like to go,
You find somebody's going to be there anyway.
That's right. Pick on somebody that's already there. No, in all seriousness, if you want to go south and see a stadium, enjoy the atmosphere, Nixa is a great place to go. The fans are very respectful. They love their football. They love to tailgate. It's a beautiful school, beautiful football complex. And, by the way, you're real close to Branson. They're doing their Halloween Fest.
There you go.
Make a weekend of it.
Sure, why not? I mean, I can't. I got to go to Davenport.
The
next day.
Hockey.
So you want to give us our post-game numbers?
Yeah. Number of plays. They got a little closer. The Broncos ran 53 for the game. The Titans ran 50. North had 381 yards in total offense. Lee Summit West had 167. The passing game really let them down again. They were 3 of 14 for 35 yards. North was 11 of 15 for 261 yards. The running game, pretty even. The Titans had 132 yards on the ground on 36 carries. The Broncos had 120 yards on 38 carries. So that was relatively even. Of course, the Titans had the 2 turnovers. And first downs, 19 for the Broncos, 12 for the Titans.
Wow.
Third down conversion. You might find this interesting. The Broncos were 5 of 12. The Titans were 5 of 14.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. That's interesting.
Makes it a little interesting.
And now, you gotta love when you're sharing space and the people that you're sharing it with pay no attention
and just rip it and move on.
Yeah, I've had that happen before where I actually had doing a hockey game and the other broadcast. There were broadcasters for the home team and visitors team, and I think we were the visitors, and the home team guy just yanked the power cable. We were both sharing the same power strip. But instead of pulling his own power strip, he pulled the whole thing and just turned everything off. Gotta like that. It was during post game, at least, like same as this, but
gripped it, ripped it, and moved on. He had enough.
So anyway. All right, so it is like I said. That's a little bit of interesting. 27-16, Lions really stepped up the last couple of weeks,
Tell you what, they've always had it in them, and it just took them getting a little more confidence.
Yeah.
And they're going to be salty in the playoffs.
Sounds like it. Rockhurst 10-3 over Blue Springs. The surprise is not that Rockhurst won, but it's the game was that close.
Wow.
10-3. Let's see what else we got for you here before we wrap things up for the day. Obviously, we're going to check Misha and Keisha if you're looking for, seedings. It's interesting that, they only play an 8-game regular season on Kansas. So even though they start a week after us, both Missouri and Kansas are going to the playoffs next week. This is the finale of their regular season. Summit Christian 49-0 over Kansas City Central. That's actually not even a final, but
Kansas City Central?
That's what it says.
They're beating Kansas City Central. Wow.
49-0. Holden 34-6 over Knobnoster. Platte County 39-3 over Lansing. Let's see. Liberty North 27-0 final over Blue Springs South. Not big surprise there. Marshall and Cameron 30-0 Marshall. Here's an interesting score. Liberty and North Kansas City are tied at 14 late in the fourth quarter.
Tell you what, North Kansas City's they're a pretty good little ball club. They've been up and down this year, and they're fun to watch. Excelsior Springs 41, Pleasant Hill 34. That's a little bit of an upset there on Pleasant Hill's side.
Park Hill South 51-27 over St. Joe Central. That's a final.
Green Valley's getting up on Belton 34-12.
Ray-Pec and Park Hill 27-21 Ray-Pec about midway through the fourth quarter.
I'm telling you.
That's a barn burner.
Yep.
Flip over on 8-10 and watch the end of that game.
You betcha.
Let's see. What else?
Liberty North, you got that one 27-0 over Blue Springs South?
Yeah, I mentioned that already. Okay. And then also a final, Lee Summit High School with a 56-28 win over Staley. I don't know how that affects their seeding. They're a little below us. I think they were the 7 seed.
Yeah, it was the 7 seed. Let's see, between them and gosh dang it, who's the other team that's below us? I'm pull up that district right now.
I was going to say I forget. But I tell you what, so that means they probably have a date with Joplin. As it turns out.
Okay, so Ozark is the 8 seed.
Yeah. Were they 0 for the season, I think?
No, they were 2-6 for the year, and so right now we've got Nixa 7-1, Lee Summit North 7-1, and by the points.
Yeah, but now Nix is 7-2.
Right, they're 7-2. So that's right.
And Lee Summit North's 8-1. So is Joplin. So, but by definition, it's going to be there's no way Joplin can catch up points wise. So Lee Summit North's going to win the first seed, and Joplin will be second. Nix will be third, and then you got Ray-Pec fourth, and Kickapoo fifth, and then we'll be sixth.
I'll tell you what, depending on what happens with Raymore Peculiar.
Yeah.
They may be able to leapfrog Nixa, because right now, if you look at the total points, Raymore Peculiar 6-2 going into tonight's ball game. They had 36.22 points. Mm-hmm. Nixa had 43.79 points. So there's a chance that Nixa.
Could they get that many points in one game? I don't know. Maybe they can.
I don't know. I mean, they could. Nixa could drop all the way to the 4 seed.
Well, if that's true, we would be going to Ray-Pec.
Maybe going to Ray-Pec, yeah.
I just didn't think that you could make that much of a gain in points in one game. I don't know.
What is it? What did you get? 13 points? Is that what it is? I forget.
I
don't know how
no idea how the formula works.
Yeah.
I know that that it doesn't do you any good to beat a team by more than 13 points. That's the maximum.
That's the maximum spread. You don't
spread,
get anything for the points.
But I don't know how that. Yeah, I don't know how that, and I don't know what the strength of schedule thing does. It is a lot easier. I will have to admit, I'm not a huge fan of the Kansas version of this, where they have 16 teams in a district, and your entire season is based on 2 things: your record and your point differential.
Right.
With again a 13-point maximum. You can only go plus or minus 13, but the only difference between one team and the next is point differential. There's no, arbitrary assignment of strength of schedule or anything like that.
Yeah, well, and take a look at this, okay? District 4, okay, in Kansas City.
We're in 3 now.
And we're in 3.
Yeah.
And District 4 is Park Hill South, Liberty North, Liberty, Rockbridge, out of Columbia, Park Hill, Rockhurst, Blue Springs South. Park Hill South played in that smaller suburban conference.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And so they've played maybe 3 Class 6 opponents that are the same size as they are. So are they going to be a little fresher going into the season? Is that an advantage? So they're going to be 1 game ahead of Liberty North in the win-loss column. That game that North lost, if I'm not mistaken, was Arkansas, right? Bentonville?
Fayetteville, or
Bentonville?
Bentonville, yeah, could have been.
So, that'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out on Monday and who's going to be where. So.
By the way, in Kansas, if 2 teams are the same, they go right to a coin flip.
Yeah. Well, that's where they do it in Texas too. So
Fordo 49-14 over William Chrisman. That's a final as well. It's most of your Missouri scores that you might be interested in. So yeah.
All right, so we may not be going south,
Yeah,
but we won't know till tomorrow when everything updates and takes a look at it. But we will have a game for you next week.
Well, and but see, that's the thing is Ray-Peck. I mean, the game's still going on, first of all,
right.
And so there's no guarantee they will win. They're winning, but it's 27-21
right.
in the fourth, and there's still about half a quarter to go. But the other thing is, like I said, that game, it's not like they're blowing them out by 13 points right now anyway. I don't know if you can gain that many points in a single.
And we may not be able to, but it's interesting to take a look at how it shakes out.
Let me see if there's any update before we sign off for the day on that Ray-Peck game, because it was getting late. Boy, North Kansas City and Liberty are going to overtime now, 14 all.
Wow.
How about that? Let's see, Ray-Peck and Park Hill are also tied at 27 with 1:43 left to go, which means that if they do win, it's probably not going to be it's probably not going to be by 14 points. It might be by as much as a touchdown. If it goes to overtime, then the most it could be would be by a touchdown. If they score a touchdown, the most it could be would be 8 points. And it won't be, but it could be.
Park Hill scored 2 touchdowns and missed an extra point in the fourth quarter to come back and tie it.
Wow.
If they'd hit their extra point,
they'd be winning.
And maybe, in all fairness, maybe they needed to go for 2, but I don't, But, just taking a look at it, holy mackerel.
Who knows? 27 all in progress. It's quite a game. Like I said, I don't know if it's. I'm assuming this is one of the 8-10 varsity games that you could be watching right now. So why you're listening to us, I have no idea. 38-6, the final here, and like you said, we don't know for sure, but it's still. I would say our best, most likely scenario is we go to Nixa next week, but you'll have to check and find out. I'm sure you'll eventually get that information soon enough. I don't know. Do they tweet things out or?
Yeah, we'll get it out. Look at the tweets coming from the Lee Summit West Football Club or Touchdown Club 1. We'll have an idea where we're going, and I'll have something at Porch Sports too. Just be looking at it, and we'll post something so everybody knows what's going on.
Okay, we'll do what we can do. And either way, we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
We're not totally sure exactly in what capacity we're gonna be there, but we will do the best we can. Here it is, Ray-Peck and Park Hill. It is an 8-10 varsity webcast, and I'm just pulling it up because I figure it's probably more up to date than the score I was getting off the scoreboard. But it's taking its time to pull up right now. Let's see. Here we go. Ray-Peck at Park Hill. And let's see if it's got a score. It's still 27-27. And there is now 14 seconds left to go. Looks like the ball's near midfield. So it's probably not a situation where somebody's getting ready to, attempt a game-winning field goal or something like that. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, we're going to sign off for today. Again, the 38-6 final score. The Broncos beat the Titans, but it's a whole new season starting next week. The playoffs begin, and we'll see what the Titans can do. Like I've said before, the truth of the matter is, while we might not like the trip, the best thing that probably could happen for the Titans is actually going to Nixa and playing that team, because Ray Peck, we'd have our hands full against them.
You bet.
And not that we're not going to have it against Nixa either, but like I said, Nixa might be a little bit of more of a paper tiger anyway than Ray Peck is. So we'll see. All right, for Mark Files, Joel Becker here from Titan Stadium on Titan Football, a presentation of Backport Sports, Beck Bros Productions, and 810varsity.com.